we're back to where we are. Sorry about this, guys. I'm so sorry. Alright, let me see what you guys said on TikTok. Lessons is up on YouTube. Channel's the thing. He's also posted on Lessons. Okay, what is his name of his channel? The name of the channel is Artecris. The same name that you see is the same logo, and everything you see is me. Where's my pen? Now the pen ran away. What is going on today, Jace? Where's my pen? It literally spread legs and ran away. Pen, you don't do this to me. Pen. 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 Where is my pen? Oh my goodness. I need my pen. I can't teach without my pen. It's like my magic wand. Oh my goodness. Where's my pen?
You cry for a pen?
I need you. Help me find my pen. Wait, oh my goodness, where's my pen? I just had the...
I lost my drawing pen on my down comforter and it evaporated.
Yeah, there it is. Vimila Leviosa. Or whatever the hell they say in Harry Potter. Okay. It's cool. Okay. Now we can finally get back to the lesson. Hopefully it doesn't go left again. If it crashes again, I don't know what to do about that. Okay. I found it. DW. I stopped. Oh, thank you. I saved up money to build a PC, but I lost the courage to stream anymore. Wait, why? Why did you lose the courage? What happened? Why would you lose? I'm really struggling with hair and where to draw the eyes, the nose. Could you do a tutorial? Alright. Floor to your right. Okay, I flew. Right. I took it. Okay, RPN. Okay, He has a tutorial on YouTube. Okay. Like, okay, so when it comes to drawing and knowing the placing of the eyes, first you need to know the placing of the other thing. So like in the Loomis method, circle, and then you make the gear, and then the gear cuts in half here, then you go down here, all right, and then when you do this, to know the placement of said say nose, eyes, whatever, I'll use my what is this? Oh, I just realized what that is. Like in my past drawings here, to know where the placement of it actually goes along with the gear itself. So I'm gonna make this really easy. I'm going to make a circle. I'm gonna use a what the hell? Okay. Then we're going to use a circle. Where are you? Why is it not up here? Subtool. Okay, there it is. We make a circle. I'm going to just use this for a good reference. We make a circle, and then what we're going to do, make a circle, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to, and this is to answer the question of where the eyes are being placed and nose and all that stuff. We make a circle. I'm using line tools just to give you a sense of direction so you don't see a bunch of squiggles. You can do this too if you want. It's not make you less of an artist, but this is just a faster way of doing it. But if you want to make it very accurate, if you hear about that, or what case may be. All right, so you make a circle, and then what you do, you cut off the sides like you would, think of it as the gear, but in more 3D sense. Okay, make sure to when you're cutting your head, that when you cut it like this on the sides, 1, and then you do 2, instead of guessing it, just go with the line that's here. So say I cut it right here, right? And I don't know how to make this equal, so I will go with where the circle and the line meet. And then if I still don't know where that line is, I go where the circle and the line meet. I'm going to show you again. I just want to get real specific on this. See where the line and the circle meet? Pull. Okay. Circle and line meet here. Pull. Okay. We surpassed this, so we're going to go back here. Circle and line meet. Go up. Hey. Hey, you're supposed to drag with me. What the hell? Okay. There I go. We'll do it over again. It's okay. Oh. This thing needs batteries. Today is just not my day. Go down. Okay. Easy as pie. Like that. Now, this looks like a little bit of a mess, but don't let this bother you. This looks like a little bit of a mess. Don't let it scare you. What we're going to do is literally cut off the sides here. You don't really need the sides here, but if it makes it easier for you to know where's what, that's fine. I'm going to grab this. Like here. Take this off. Okay. All right. Now, I want to find the middle of the head. To find the middle of the head, we're going to use our square to get to that point, okay? Mandalorian. All right. All your stuff going... Yes, it's just going insane. Like, they're taking their own, like, turn to mess with me. It's weird. So, like, you get the line again. Get your line tool. Go to the corner. Go to the corner of where it meets. Okay, so make sure you're doing this right. So you go to the corner of your triangle. I mean, your triangle, your square. I said the wrong thing. And then when you get to the very corner, go to the other corner, the adjacent corner, or the opposite side of the corner that you're in, and do this one too. Try to be as accurate as possible. Okay, now this will indicate to you where's the middle at. This is the middle. This is literally the balance of this whole thing. Thank you. You are a lifesaver. I haven't been able to find a good tutorial on. No problem. All right, so like Grizzy! Damn it, she's not near me. Why is she gone? She's supposed to be my little assistant. She's not here. Why she's not assistant? Where's my assistant? Crosshair! God damn! You need to be in here. You're my assistant. You're not going anywhere. You don't have nothing to do. Stop playing game. No Genjin. Now, come here. Or if you're gonna play Genjin, bring it in here. I need you.
You have a phone.
Oh. There's no reason for you to be not in here now. Anyway, so point is this. I need you to get me batteries. Can you get me batteries?
Oh hell, you know that's not gonna be happening.
Can you find me batteries?
I need some batteries. Like, what kind of batteries?
The skinny one? You can check.
That's like non-existent here. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Anyway, so this is the straight up middle. This works not only just for heads, but this works for buildings, this works for platforms, this works for anything. So if you have a surface, what? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
How many do you need?
There's only like 2. I think it's 2.
Okay. Hold on.
It's just 2.
Well, these 2. Does he work?
Try it.
Makes a match.
Oh. All right. Okay. So this will work for any surface situation, like for your, like if you're doing a building, like for instance, if you're doing like 2-point perspectives, for instance, like you put a line here. Oh, you put the line here. Chew. And if you wanted to know
The only reason I can tell is the cap.
Oh, it worked.
I did put the case back on.
If you want to know the middle of something, let's
I'll bring my phone and stuff, so you know.
I need you here. Yes. Like this will give you a sense of direction of where you have to be, where you want to be.
Can I touch the thermostat? I know you get crazy when you touch your thermostat.
Are you cold?
Yes.
Fine.
The beds of my nails are purple. Like that is like definition of cold.
Yes. Genshin is equal importance as batteries. Yes.
Yes, they are. It is.
Yeah, I know you guys love your Genshin impacts. Okay, so since we have the middle of our, we go up here and we go here. Okay. Okay. Those of you who watch Beavis and Butthead or South Park. Okay. All right. So we have the middle. This is our middle, dead center of our circle. You can actually go past this if you want, if only if you want. So I'll pull this down like this. Okay. Oops. Hey, what the hell? What the hell? What is going on today? No. No. Damn. What is wrong with this thing? What? What is that?
My new cooking tools.
Okay, great. I don't know what to say to that, but okay. Well, I'm happy for you.
Absolutely.
Merry
good.
Christmas. Okay, so.
Oh, that's even worse.
Okay, so.
Why you do like
what we're gonna do is this. We're going to cut this in half. We're going to cut this in half.
There it is.
One. Oops. Make sure that you're in the dead center. You don't want this off. One. Okay. And then two. Now, what this does is it's going to allow us to know where our mouth is, and I will explain to you how this makes any sense. So this line that's here, this is our eyebrow line, and I will label them for you when I get to that point. Okay, let me see.
Puppy was giving Duck the business today.
Who?
Puppy.
Puppy?
Yeah, his sister.
Oh. I was like, who?
She was asking such mom questions about the game. That was irate Duck.
Okay. Alright, so what this does, it's going to, this is a lot going on here, and this is why I wouldn't teach this to beginners, because this is a lot of steps that's here, but if you want to be as accurate as possible, this is the only way I can teach you to be super accurate if you care about that. Now, you don't have to do this part with the squares or how I'm doing like that, but you have to have this line that's in the middle. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to put my finger here. You can eyeball this by putting your fingers like this and sliding down.
It's a wave, right?
Oh, oops, did it wrong. Okay.
I touched it.
Put your fingers here and then slide it down here.
Welcome, oh my god.
This will indicate to you where to put your
Oh my god, I became self-aware. Wait, what?
okay, like this and like this.
I have no idea what's happening, but I'll pretend I'll do.
Don't worry, it will make sense.
Yeah, it makes it sound like high school.
Okay. And then like that. What I just did is literally put where the mouth will be. Okay?
Mouth.
So I'm going to label where everything will be so you guys have an understanding of what you're looking at. Because I know there's a bunch of squares and stuff like that. And it looks intimidating and I get it. It'll make sense.
Wait, you playing the Xbox without the Ethernet cable in the back?
Were you?
It seemed like we were.
Anyway, so let's put it here. Oops. Alright, now I'm going to label them so you guys have an understanding where the hell I'm doing, what the hell I've been doing this entire time. While I was trying to explain to you guys. This whole map that you're looking at, this is the head. It looks ridiculous, but it is the head.
Nothing head?
You are better than my art teacher. Like, no, don't say that. Your art teacher worked his or her ass off. Don't say that.
Don't listen to him either. You know why? Because your art teacher is trash. He would tell you not to write anime.
That's mean. This is your hairline. This first line here, because the reason why I made the lines come out is so you have a way to label, so you don't have to like kind of eyeball it. So this is the hairline. This is your brown line. Brown line. This means your eyebrows. This is literally your nose. Nose line. And last but not least, here. You guys can kind of tell right here. This is your mouth. Okay.
Okay.
Now this looks kind of weird for me to label these, and they look so spaced out. They do, but please bear with me. It's gonna look a little ridiculous, but this is, it's gonna make sense. Okay, really pen. Okay. Let me get subtool. Okay, so I want to change the size. I don't know what's going on today. So much shit is happening today. Okay, so I'm gonna turn down my layer. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. And I'm gonna use this to make sense of all of this, okay? First, when you're doing this, oh wait, I said mouth, right?
The mouth.
Oh, I said that wrong. This is not the mouth line. This is the chin. My bad. Chin. I'm so bad. I am so sorry about that. I almost confused guys. Okay. Those of you on Instagram, TikTok, thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. I know I'm a little bit everywhere scattered because of the internet. Oh, there is. Wait. Hold on. Nicholas is here. Make sure I see his message. I don't know if it's going to pop up for me, but let's see if it works. Okay, there we go. Nicholas is here, and I think he's asking a question. Let me see what he's saying.
Your attendance is good.
Okay, hey, McShee. I messaged you on Instagram and a link to heads and angles. Okay, good. Anyway, so I just make sure I saw your message. So what's happening here is the eyebrow line is. Let's first construct the head. First, the head goes from here, slightly from here, and then breaks off at this point. Chin is here because we know where the chin is.
To play Genshin Impact music on stream.
Like this. Hold on, and then remember. Even though this big circle, don't let this circle fool you. You're not supposed to use this giant circle for the head, because that was the kid. Well, you can actually, but then again,
that'll be a big head person.
It'll look like this. If you're going for like a more anime look, you don't want it looking like this because it's gonna look kind of alien, and you have a big head anime character. You don't want that. So that's why we cut it in half, and we go like this. Oops, that's way too long. Like this. And then break it off like this. Break it off like this. And it's okay to chicken scratch through this if you're not sure, especially if this is new to you. It's okay. I will not penalize you for this, especially if this is new to you. Make sure to turn down your opacity when doing this, okay? So you don't, because if you have everything on, it's going to be hard to read what you're doing. And also, don't do what I'm doing. Don't use the same color, because you're going to get confused. Use a different color so it'll be easier for you to read. So I would change this. I would change this particular layer, which I can do it right now, to like a red. I'll make it into a red so it'll be easier for you guys to read it. There we go. All right. Oh. There you go. Okay. It's 7 p.m. for me. Okay. Is my country... What? Is my country... It's currently 2 a.m. Aw. That's scary and concerning, especially because it's around 2 a.m. Okay, just there. I believe it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lucky cough, crop punch dang. Okay, legit. It's too legit. And I am. It's too legit a.m. for me to do. Okay, just make sure I got to all you guys reading all your stuff. Is this for male or female? I'm not doing any particular gender. I'm just literally constructing a head. This can go for any gender for right now. I'm not making it masculine or something in between. I'm just trying to keep it neutral for right now because we're just trying to draw a head. If I was getting specific, I would change. There will be some changes I would make to this head. I would have made it a little more masculine. And to make it more masculine, one, the chin will be a lot more flatter at the bottom. It'll be a lot more hard-edged here. And then I guess the head will be a lot more like more squarish, more hard-edged. But since I'm just making a head, which you guys can see, now since I know where these lines are, I can know where's my brow line. Now, when I say brow line, there's something that you must know. The brow line it's not. You don't draw on the line. You don't draw on the line. You don't do that. You draw either under or top. And when it comes to the brown line, you're drawing over the brow line. Over it. Okay? You just draw over it. You just draw over it. You don't draw on top of it, and you don't draw under it. When it comes to the brown line, you draw over it. Okay? And make sure you have a good space in between each other. You don't want it to look weird. To make this easier, just if you're doing digital, do one side for right now. And now, if you're wondering where the eyes are in. Okay, so if I remember right, the ear will dictate where the eyes are. So, like the ear is the same. It starts. The tip of it starts where the brow line is, and it ends a little bit over the nose line. Okay, a little bit over. Okay. Now this indicates to you, if that's the case, in the middle of the ear will indicate to you where the eyes are. So the eyebrows are here, so I'm going to make another line so you guys can see it. I'm in the middle of the eyes. That's because the cutting the ear in half will let you know where the eyes are. Oops. Okay, like this. Alright. Don't mind the eye, how it's designed. This is just to let you know where the eyes are. Don't even worry about the brow or anything. I'm just giving you an indication. And then I'll space them more professionally, more better. But I'm just giving you guys what to use to do this. So don't worry about it too being accurate, because I can just literally just do this. I can make it slightly bigger. And then I can bring this up a little bit higher. Like that. Alright. And I can make this a bit bigger because this is the eyebrow. Like that. And remember the hairline is up here because the line that is the highest that's the hairline. No matter what, that's the line that's at the very top, that's the hairline. What is your stabilization at? My stabilization, if you're talking about the line tool I'm using shift to make it extremely straight, but like if you're asking about my brush stabilization, is at 15. Just to let you guys know, the higher stabilization, the easier is it. I'm going to sleep. I've been practicing drawing nonstop. That's good if you have the time, but don't destroy your whole like brain over there, Spectre. But good job. you're good practice. Now I'm going to put the nose here. Okay, like this. Depending on how I want to draw the nose. Like that. If I want to draw an anime nose, I can just literally put it like here. This is where you actually draw on top of that specific place. So like this nose here, this is where the nose will be. So like I don't have to question or wonder where the nose is being placed. Okay, I'm just doing this for now. Don't worry about any of this right now. Don't worry about how it looks right now. Oh. Don't know what just happened. Okay, there. Now, got the ear and everything. Here, line, mouth. This is the chin. I actually went a little bit over the chin, but it doesn't have to be as accurate as you think. You can still bring the chin a little bit more. It's a nice spacing from the nose and the chin. This is a nice spacing, so you don't have to worry about it too much. If it's too close, then it's going to look ridiculous, because you don't want it too close to each other, because when they're too close, they look kind of like dwarfish, kind of like something's dwarfed into their like biology. You don't want that. Not a flex. I can't do straight or curved lines well without it. That's fine. Nothing. That's fine. That's good. Wait, without it? Wait, without using stabilization? Yes, that's you can't do it. Okay, that's fine. That's what stabilization is there for. Cool, bad. This life's good. Oh, thank you. If you're drawing slim, almost closed eyes, how low or how high on the face do you put it? Wait, if you're drawing slim, closed eyes, how low or how high on the face do you put it? It depends on the angle. It depends on its angle. So like for instance, it depends on the angle and how you construct it will let you know where the eyes will be. So like I said before, if you construct the map, if you want to be extremely accurate on what I just showed you here, you have to use this map. I use the map, and I don't have to guess half the time where everything is. I don't have to guess like that. I can literally just, okay, I know where this is, Hairline is literally where the hair is coming from here. So like you want this forehead here, so there's a spacing between you and the hair. So like if I were to say I wanted to draw his hair like this, I don't have to worry about if the hair is too close to the face or a case may be, because everything will be on top of here. Okay, just to give you a sense of direction. But I'm not putting hair right now. Like I said, here and here. The ears doesn't have to be exactly the same, but they just have to be as close to each other based on how you landmarked everything. Okay. Okay. Come on, fix yourself. I hate when this happens. I think this only happens in Studio Paint. This is just so annoying. You see that? See how it's like spreading out, like it's shooting out like extra ink? Okay, now it fixed itself. I hate that when that happens. It just happens sometimes, and I don't know how to fix that. I think it has to do with the GPU, probably. I don't know. Okay, here and here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make this a little bit more bigger if I feel like everything's too small. So I'm going to put everything like this, like that. I'll make this nose a bit bigger, just for the hell of it, so everything feels kind of proportioned. All right. Now I'm going to copy and paste this part. This is where I can actually get away with something like this. In this particular angle only, most cases. I'm going to flip it. Boom, boom, boom. Horizontal. And I'm going to grab my keyboard, hit shift, and drag it. When you hit shift, what this does, it keeps things in place. so you don't have to worry about it wiggling and it going out of place. Okay? Alright. Now everything looks kind of equal from this point now. I think this gotta be turned a little bit. Okay, there we go. Don't want to be too spaced. I always learned that the spacing of it, the eye, the most space, the spacing of the eye has to be the same space as here. That's how you know you're accurate. So like, if I were to make another eye, or let's say another eye, right now, and I said copy and then paste, you slide this about here. Now this is a perfect spacing because the eye has to be like, it has to be the same length of the eye. The eye that you have here has the same width of this eye, has to be the same spacing of the eye, so it has a third eye. It looks kind of ridiculous and funny, but like TN, but the eye's not here. Why are you laughing at that? Why are you laughing at that? Hi, hello, Edo. Edo, see you on Instagram. Okay. Thank you for the follow, guys. I do appreciate it. Do you also have coloring tutorials? Don't mind me ask. Yes, I have a grayscale one. It's on YouTube. Everything you guys probably may ask me is already on YouTube. And if you're asking, yes, I would redo this again. I will redo Gem Maza. Hello, Gem. Hello, Gem. Oh, hello. On Instagram, I see you. You're saying hi. So whatever you guys gonna ask me, yeah, everything that you see here or anything that you're gonna ask is probably pretty much is on YouTube. I will be redoing those videos again. So like a coloring video, a head video, because I'm more confident in my teaching compared to than I was when I just kind of was winging it. I have a better understanding of how to explain things to you guys better and get things done in a more timely manner. So yeah, I will be redoing some of my videos. I'll do even new videos, don't worry, I'm not just gonna redo them and call it a day. I'm going to redo them, and I'm going to also, I'll put this here. Sorry, I got real quiet because I just realized this had. Okay. How about there? I think that's okay. Okay, so like, for me, I would literally, I'm going to be redoing some of the drawings again, my videos again. I will be doing them, redoing them, and I'm going to be doing new topics. I know that's something that some of you guys really love it when I do chubby girls, like the chubby girl drawings.
She's squishy.
You guys say you want to make them fluffy and like explain how to draw girls who are like overweight or plus size or whatever you want to refer to it as. So that's something I will be doing again and doing an explanation again. I will go now. Okay, thank you. No problem. Goodbye. I'll see you on your next stream if I find it good. Okay, no problem. With ears, how do you draw the shape of it? Think of it as a like half a heart. Think of it as a half a heart. Think of it that way, but just a little point here.
Why is Peppa Pig trending?
I don't know. That's usually a meme, and it usually doesn't end well. So think of it like a heart, or a butterfly's wing. If you think it that way, it's easier to draw the ear in an anime type form. If you're trying to make it super accurate, I need to do a video on that. I can't do that here because I don't have a good mental imagery.
Oh my god!
That really was just there. I don't have a good mental imagery of the ear, right? So I'm not gonna just pretend like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to ears. I know what the ear looks like in this sense because it's a very basic understanding compared to the other body parts I know. But yeah, my dad fell down the stairs. Oh, that's kind of sad. Oh wait, someone put a question. I didn't even see that. Thank you for putting the Q&A. Wait. Meow. Okay, just meow. Alright, alright, alright. Let's see. Nope, I don't do video requests. Sorry. I only do that with my mods. And for you to be my mods, I have to personally know you. So, like, personally know you. Not, like, kind of know you or kind of no. Anyway, I made, just good for you, bro. Anyway, so, alright, so let's put it this way. And then what we're going to do is make the ears and eyes like that. And then, let me see. Okay. Let's see. Now, what we're going to do is when we make the ear, we go straight like this. Most cases, the ear would actually be touching a little more further down where the nose is. Where the ear usually ends is where the nose is, but because I made the ear a little bit before the nose, it's kind of acceptable because you can kind of wing it in a sense. The estimation is pretty on point. Not here. I have to fix here, to be honest. Oh wait, can't go there. Can't go there. Okay, like here. And then here, like this. Okay. Alright, so let me see. Now we do that like that. Alright. Now everything from this point will be here. Thing, and then try to eyeball it right. You can actually use the eye line for this if you want. I mean the line tool for this very thing if you want to keep it accurate. Now the mouth is usually from right here in most cases. Most cases like this. So you can put the mouth like this. Okay? Easy as pie. Because it's pretty adjacent, it's not adjacent, it's pretty like a few inches away from the mouth. It's not that far, depending. And given that there's like giant space between the nose and the chin, you can actually just put the mouth pretty much in the middle, right under where the circle is, most cases. So that's how it can work, okay? So always know that the mouth is usually right at the edge or at least a little under the circle where you use to construct your map, okay? That's one way you can do it. And then when it comes to hair, if you want to get to the hair part, the hair part, depending, now, those of you who are struggling with hair, you must know the point of reference of where the hair is going, okay? So you have, let me see, you put a point of reference here. So like say the hair is coming from here, right? You want the hair be floating a little bit over the head. So we know where the hair is going. So like if I wanted my anime character to have hair going this way, for whatever reason, everything in every hair strand is going to refer back to this like that. Okay, so because everything's going back to this reference of circles, so it has a better indication of where you're going with this. Okay. Okay. See that? See how the hair looks? It doesn't look ridiculous because it's going... Yeah, it's supposed to be ridiculous, but it's going where the hair is being referenced, so you don't ever have to worry about it. Because remember, once we knew where our hairline was constructed, we don't have to worry if the hair is too close to the head, to the eyes, to the eyebrows. There's a good spacing of the hair. You see what I'm saying? So we have a good sense of spacing. Now, the character looks like he's kind of scared, and I understand that because his eyes are not... Because when you have an anime character's eyes are not touching the top or the bottom of the eye itself, they look like they're kind of freaking out. So, like, let me fix that real quick. See how... Now, I'm going to take away the map, just for you guys to have a... Now we have a constructed anime guy. See what I'm saying? Or... yeah, pretty much an anime guy from this point. So like his hair is like this. I went with male because I felt like that was much more easier to deal with right now compared to the female. you can use this same technique with the female, so that there's no difference in this situation. This can go for both genders. There's nothing more special than the other. It's just like with females, you just gotta make sure if you're making long hair, you're being cognizant of the long hair. Like you gotta think of gravity, okay? Okay. All right. So if I were to redraw his eyes, I would. Let's see. Okay. Just like that. Turn it down. Now I can redraw this. Okay. And then
Damn, son. You're just taking all the fat off you.
okay. And then like that. Let's just say it's like that to just keep things much more. Right. And then what's going to happen is that I'm going to do it like that. Alright, and then his eyebrows are depending. The eyebrows don't have to be the same, but I'm just giving you guys such a basic textbook understanding of how to draw this. Now his eyes, I don't like how his eyes are looking, so I can redo this. Oops. It's not the best anime drawing right now, but this is literally those textbook looking ones that kind of get away with it, but it gives you a sense of what you're supposed to do. I really don't like going with this because it kind of looks kind of like generic, and it looks kind of mediocre and all that stuff, but right now this is just for those of you who are beginners. I will teach this much more better if I could, but if I focus on like art style and stuff, then we're not gonna get anywhere. We're gonna just focus on how it looks and that how it's not constructed. And we want to worry about the construction first before we worry about anything with art style, because that's not the main point of your focus. Art style should come a long way from your understanding of constructing and anatomy and all that stuff. So, hello, our teenage.
I like how you saying that.
Yeah.
And what really went through my head is like, know your housing blueprints before you ask for a interior designer.
Yes. That's what that truly is, if you stop and think about it. Know the blueprints of your house before you want to hire a
interior designer.
Interior designer. That's like your art style right there. Those are two separate things. Know the construction of how to make your characters before you worry about the whole how it looks and it doesn't look cool. Don't worry about that. If you know, like if I were to actually make a square, you won't have to worry about the art style of a square because you know how to make a square as a square, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even actually make a cube, I said a literal, like a 2D square, you know what I'm saying? You know what a square looks like. People know what a circle looks like. If you don't, then something's wrong with you. Literally, I'm not even kidding on that one. But like, you know, like everyone's seen a circle all their lives. Random question, do you know how to draw abs? Yeah, but it's not something I really focus too much on. Not that I can't draw them, it's just I don't focus too much on them, because if you don't know how to draw the body in general, abs doesn't really mean anything. Because if you don't know how to construct the body well, it defeats all purpose. I don't like how these eyes are looking into the very depths of my soul. It doesn't look right. And just erase that and keep that like kind of like that and then like that.
Oh my god, woman.
Okay, that doesn't look right. It looks weird. But to give everyone a sense of direction, this is what you see. And then when it comes to the construction of the neck, which I was supposed to be focusing on, the neck is a very funny thing. A lot of people tend to draw the neck like they tend to draw the neck very strangely. They tend to draw the neck like this. Like they kind of draw it like this is how the neck is supposed to look like in most cases. It's not supposed to look like this. A lot of people draw the neck like a vase, and that's not how it works, okay? Most cases when drawing the neck, you have to draw the neck like, you have to be aware of the muscles and stuff. If you get more aware of this, it makes it easier to draw a neck instead of drawing it looking too long or looking too insanely muscular or looking like it just doesn't look human. It just looks weird, okay? Now, I got to the point of how to draw the ear, the hair, the eyes kind of at one point here. But now we're going to go back to basics and stick with our dummies because I went off topic doing this, but just to show how to draw eyes and ears and all that stuff. So, another question, what should I look at or do to learn anatomy efficiently? Do you like the Kubo's art? Yes, I do like Kubo's art style. I know who you're referring to. I do like it. Is Gene Simmons' son still claiming that he's the founder of Bleach, or that Kubo stole from him? That Kubo stole from him. Is that still a thing? Does Gene Simmons' son still bring that crap up?
Who stole what from Bleach?
Gene Simmons. Do you know who that is?
Not entirely.
Kiss.
Oh. Yeah.
I wanna rock and roll all night. His son, Gene Simmons, the lead singer, his son claims that Kubo, the artist of Bleach, stole his Bleach idea. Because if you look at Gene Simmons' comic, it looks a lot similar to Kubo's Bleach. You like Kubo's art style? Yes, I do like it. I do. Oh, and to answer your question, to be more efficient in arts in your anatomy, you need to learn these 4 things. And a lot of you do not like this when I bring this up. 1, you have to learn your shapes. Those of you who know, who's been in my stream long enough, I always repeat this every time. Also, I learned length and bottom of. Wait, I do remember reading that around the eyes are estimated length. It would be about 5 eye lengths from one. Yes, about 5 eye lengths to the ear, depending on how you draw the eye and what you're going for. Also, I've learned the length from the bottom of the chin. The bottom of the chin to the bottom of the lips is about half as long as the length between the bottom of the chin to the bottom of the. Yes, that is correct. Okay, first number 1, and yes, in this particular order, shape. Number 2, you have to learn your forms. Number 3, you know your gestures slash figure drawing for your drawings. Number 4, learn your perspectives. And number 5, learn your proportions. Number 5, proportions. And then number 6, and if you can master these things here, then you can pretty much master anatomy from this point. And then number 6, outside this realm, is color theory. And well, number 6 can be switched between color theory and composition, but I'll say no, I want to do color theory as number 6. I would put this as composition. And number 7 is color theory. Now, what is composition? Those you may ask. Composition is how to place your characters in a way that is pleasing to the eye. It does have to do a bit of perspective, but mostly it's just about rearranging your characters to be pleasing. Even if you're using one character, it doesn't have to be a bunch of characters. It doesn't have to be even a whole like panel of like stuff happening. It could be just one character doing one thing in literally blank space. But if you can place them or position them in a way that is pleasing to the eye, like using the rule of thirds. I will use, any beginner should use the rule of thirds. If you learn the rule of thirds, you can pretty much get away virtually with any drawing. You don't have to learn any other drawing after that. But if you do learn any drawings, you gotta learn the rule of thirds. I think the best one, second to that, is the golden ratio, and then the third one is, what was it? Fuck, I can't remember what it is. I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of it. But there's a third one. There's a bunch of them. I think there's like 16 of them, or 10 of them. But like for this particular, like if you can learn at least 3 or 2 of that, you'll be fine. You don't need to learn anything else. You can learn just rule of thirds and use that as a form of the everything. You don't have to use anything else. You can just use the rule of thirds if you learn that technique, and just probably learn golden ratio. You're gonna be pretty much good with composition. Those are the 2 things you need to learn, and it's not even hard. Really, it's not even hard. It's just planning out where everything's gonna be. That's it. It doesn't really have to do with perspective. It's just only what you're gonna draw, and then can you construct them into those places. But it's don't worry about this at all, really. Just worry about these 5, and then come for this, and then last but not least, go with color theory, because you can make a great drawing. You don't have to make any colors. And perfect example of this, I'll show you one particular Instagram artist, and he doesn't really color his stuff, and he gets a monumental amount of love for what he does. I'll show you guys real quick. Lou, I think it was Lou. Lion, here he is. I can never say his name correctly, but he does a bunch of cool anime drawings all the time, and this is what he does, and all of it's always in black and white and pencil. I don't think it's actual pencil, I think it's digital pencil, but it gets the job done, and he doesn't color them, and he gets a lot of love for his work. If you know how to form this, if you know how to understand the shape and the formage and all that stuff, and the perspective, because remember, we're looking at this at a pretty eye line. We're pretty equal in this eye line. We're not high, we're not low, we're in a perfect eye line to this character. Now, if we have to guess, this is perfect eye line too. It doesn't feel like we're too high or we're dead center from this point with this character that he created. Now, for this character here, we're looking from a slightly top down, not that much, because remember, she's bending down. She's kind of bent, so we're looking at her from a top down perspective. Always try to, when practicing this type of thing, you should. There's two things you need to practice when it comes to eyeballing your perspectives, and you should do this as a practice. Always look at it as what angle am I looking at this from? So like if, let's just say you're not drawing anything and you were just using eyeballs, like you're using your eyes just to make a judgment, you will know that you are looking at her from the top down perspective. The only way you know this is because you see the top of her shoulder, the top of her breast, and the top of her, I guess, stomach here, the top of her elbow here, because if she was standing more precisely, if she was standing up, and she has wings, we see the top of her wings here. You may not see it very well, those of you who are probably on thing, but just look closely at this and analyze closely. This is a good way to study. Oh, those of you on Instagram, I'm sorry, you probably are having a hard time sharing. I'll zoom in for you. There you go. I think that makes it easier for all of you. There you go. Sorry, guys. All right. You have to make always make the logic out of this. Now, for this particular character here, we're looking from top down still, because we can see the top of her shoulder. We can see the top of her, what do you call it? The rib cage? Is it rib cage? What do you call that?
What?
The thing next to your neck.
Your jawline?
No, the here. It's over your chest.
Oh, your collarbone?
Collarbone. You can see the top of the collarbone, right? We can see the top of her hip here. Okay? He made his comic like 11 years ago later. Literally just ripped bleach. I had a feeling that's what happened. I think I had that feeling too. I feel like that's what Gene Simmons' son did, and he ran with this idea that Kubo just stole from him. I don't even think Kubo knows who he is. I don't think he knew who he is. I think he knew that was Gene Simmons' son, but I didn't think he had a comic till he started saying, oh, he ripped him off or so. You like the... Okay. But his art style is amazing. I really like... And I think that's what a lot of artists tends to look for, beginning artists and beginning artists tends to focus way too much on art style, way too much. The only reason why Kubo can draw the way he does because he practices. That just like Horikoshi from My Hero Academia, the creator of My Hero Academia, the lead artist. He draws Deku, like they say, like I think the average mangaka or manga artists are doing animating. They draw about 2,000 pictures a day of the same characters in different positions, like almost every day. That's like their job. They do that every single day. So like it's a constant practice. I gotta go, but I will watch your next live. Okay, thank you. No problem, Sleep. See you next time, bro. So just take this as a form of, you don't need to know color theory to do this. You can just learn cross-hatching and a little bit of grayscale, or just cross-hatching, and you can still get the point across. This dude gets a lot of love for his work because he understands form, he understands shape, he understands perspective, and he understands gesture. Because remember, what I always tell you guys when it comes to gesture, it comes from the action line. Now, when I say action line, sometimes the action line can have more than one action line. I usually give you guys one because I want you guys to use it as a form of reference, but there is situations where you can use more than one line of action. That is a thing. Those of you who know what I'm talking about. There is a line of action. You can use more than one. You don't have to use one action line. Those of you who probably was wondering if that was a thing. That is a thing. Now, making this head, remember, the way you place your gear is where it's going to let you know where your head is. So if I were to make the gear here, and then we know that we're coming sideways with this. We know for a fact we're coming sideways with this drawing. You see how that? Because I placed it here, and I remember I made this a straight line, curved. The reason I curved it is because I'm going with the bot, because what this straight line does is cutting in half. This is cutting this section here, and then the curvature of this line lets you know what way this chin is going. And I'm going to put a line here to reinforce that chin where it's going. Okay? So remember, where you place your gear will tell you where the positioning of your thing is. So if I put a gear here and I wanted to go this way, now we're going to look at the character from a bottom down position. Now, the reason why we know we're looking at the bottom is because we're looking at the top of the head now. All this is just head, okay? Even like this is the hair, like the hairline's here. And remember what I taught you guys before. The hairline is the line that's on top, that's literally at the tip that wraps around the gear. It's at the tip of the gear, the top tip of the gear, and is around it. Okay? The top tip of the gear will indicate not inside, not at the bottom, because at the bottom it lets you know where the nose is. This lets you know where the eyes are, the eyebrows are, and this lets you know where the hairline is. So the gear is a very important subject for the head. Okay? I thought it was the eyeball. No. Everyone gets this confused. You can make this into the eyeball if you're very skilled enough, if you have a good understanding, but in most cases this is your eyebrow. And see that? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you right now. So I'm not BSing you, I'm not bullshitting you at all. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to make a circle. Oop, it's glitching, hold on. It's doing that glitch thing. You see how it's like shooting out like, okay, like a flamethrower. Okay, make a circle. Make a line, and then I like to make the curve before I put the line, but you can put the line if you want, if it makes you feel better. You don't have to do it that way if you don't want to, but I make the cut it, curve, line down, and then like this, and then like this. Now what does that mean? Remember, this is the brow line, this is the hairline, and this is the nose line. Alright, so I put the eyebrow, eyes, nose, nose, and then you can just kind of wing it this point where the mouth is, hair. I'm not doing a perfect job because I'm not putting no hair construction, but head construction, but you get what I'm saying here. Okay? Now, I wouldn't make the eyebrows so high up because I try to keep the eyebrows as close as possible to the line, okay? Because when you do this, it gives it more of a forehead, because you don't want, because what happens in anime is that we are so used that the eyebrows are pretty close to the hair, and we are so used to seeing anime characters having their hair so close to their, like, I'll use an example. You want a sense of gap between head and the gap of the forehead and the hair. And it's really easy to fall into that situation where the eyebrows can look like they're super close to the head when there is a gap here. There is a hairline here. There is a hairline here. Hairline. Yeah, there's a hairline here. There's a forehead here. but because the hair is just always obscuring the face, you think that the eyebrows are literally close to the hairline, and it can make your head look like it's dwarfed up, but that's not the case. This is why you need a good understanding of anatomy. If you have a good understanding of anatomy, you can break the rules, or at least bend it in the way that you want it to be, okay? So those of you who are having trouble with this is why I will tell my students, learn to do the traditional way, but don't abandon your anime aesthetic. I will never tell my students, those of you who are watching, listen up closely to what I'm saying. I will never tell my students to abandon their anime aesthetic, but I will tell you, if you're going to keep the anime aesthetic, if you're willing to keep the anime aesthetic, please try to implement the traditional ways with your anime aesthetic. If you can do them both, which it will be a little difficult, but if you can do them both, which is not impossible, you will have a better time constructing your characters. Okay? Like here, for instance, you see the hair, it's like this, and the eyebrows are all just kind of like in the, like kind of covered. The hairline is here. It's here. There's a gap between the eyebrows and the, and because we don't see the hairline, we think the hairline is kind of like right here, like kind of like here or something, when it's really up here. But because he made the hairs very obscure and huge, it works. It's a weird illusion. Like this one, for instance, the hair, there's a gap here and here. The hairline starts here. This is a perfect example. The hairline's here, right? The head, the forehead is in this particular area where the hairline is. That's why I would say to you, because like, let me give you an example. If I had to guess, if I were to draw this, the ear, the gear will be somewhere in this direction, because if the jawline is going this way, right? It's going this way, or so, or at least going this way. The ear is here. The gear is here, because if the gear is here, the visor is here. And if the gear is here, then the tip of the gear is here. The tip of the gear is where the hairline is. The nose is where the gear is. So the gear will always dictate where everything is in most cases. So like I said, if I were to make a circle right now, and then if I were to mimic this right now, I'll try and mimic it. Not the drawing per se, but the head positioning. If I were to make a circle, okay, and make a gear, and then make the head like he did, and like this is quite similar. The hairline will be here. The Chrissy? Yo! No, she's asleep. You sleeping?
No.
Yeah, you are. Chub. I see you, Chub. Alright, so I put the line here. I'll put it a little bit more like here. Like this. And then, yeah, like about that. Okay? And then I'll put the line down here. And then everything will make sense. Now, let's see if we're similar. Not bad. We're pretty close. Pretty close. I think the head here is a little bit more conish. I made it a little bit more wider, more slender, so I can cone it a little bit like that. There we go. It's literally the same head. It's literally the same head, peoples. Let me just curve it a little bit like this. Okay, like that. Literally the same head. What'd I just say? And now we can make the hair like this. And then his eyes are kind of like here, so I'm going to curve it like this, and then oops, don't want it that thing. And then oh, I did it wrong. Hold on, because I always say this is the eyebrows, so the eyebrows will be like this. Okay. And his nose is like this. His mouth is kind of, let's see, this pointy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's making sense because I know where the hairline, at least I have an idea where everything is going. And the hairline's here, and then you can make it all whatever type of Excuse me, what program are you using? I'm using Clip Studio Paint, also known as CSP, but I'm using Clip Studio Paint Pro. This is all useful, dude. Thank you. No problem. No problem. So I hope this helps you guys and have a good understanding on how to construct your heads. And this technique is pretty easy if you practice it. After practicing it, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier to the point that it becomes second nature, that you don't have to even refer too much to it. But because your brain will have its mind's eye of how to draw things, it will see things that you wouldn't see before when you first started. Okay, so like that's how you can construct heads, always in this positioning, in this manner. To make it more accurate without doing all that mapping and stuff, you can use a literal square. Okay, a square gives you a sense of direction, because remember, the reason why a square gives you a sense of direction is because it has angles. It has these lines. Unlike a circle doesn't give you a direction unless you put something in front of it or something on it. See how there's no direction? It's literally flat from this point, right? But if I were to literally put dots, now we have a better understanding. Let's just say the shading, let's say it was shading, right? If I were to put the shading of this, now we know where it's coming from. We're coming from this side. Okay? The shading's coming from this side. Okay. Okay. See how that it gives you a sense of direction now? Because circles do not give you a sense of direction. Anything that is soft usually is drawn softly with only curvature, gives you a little bit of no direction. Lines tend to give you a better direction, or ellipses in this situation, most cases. Or if I were to put the line here, now we have a direction going this way and the shadow's going this way. Okay? Or let's just say the line is coming from the bottom, from the top. This time the shadow's coming from the top. Now everything is going to be at the bottom, and the cast shadow will be like this. Now we have a sense of direction where the light's coming from. The light's coming from the top, because where the shadow is at the bottom. You see that? Now we have a sense of direction. Circles do never have a sense of direction. Unlike a square, if I made a square right now, let's just say I made a square. It has no sense of direction because it's literally a square, right? There's no real direction here. But if I were to make a line back here, now we have a sense of direction. It feels just going back here, right? If I make another square, because if I made two more lines here, boom, boom, boom. Now we're looking at this direction. We're looking at directionally from bottom because I made it from the bottom. Okay? And remember how I slightly drew it. The slighter the drawing, the more dramatic it looks. The more foreshortened it looks. Please pay attention to this. The more slightly the drawing is in foreshortening. What about the different body positions? That still the rule still applies to anything. So if you were to draw the head, the hands in a slight positioning, it will either do one or two things. It will obscure the whole understanding of the positioning, or it will give it more. By giving it more depth, I'm saying. So like let me do it again. If I were to make a square, and I were to boom boom make this long, the fact that I made this long and for you guys to see it makes it look like it's going. We're looking from a top angle. But we're not looking directly on top. We're on top, don't get me wrong. We're on top of the square, the building here, technically, when we think about it. But we're not on top of the literal ceiling. We're at a top angle. So we're at a top, like, I'll say third-ish, like third quarter view. We're looking at this particular line. Now, to erase said line, to look at the very top of this ceiling, I can change it by changing the dramaticness of this angle. So I'm going to draw this even more slightly, not long, but slightly. That is the key that you're trying, is foreshortening. So let me foreshorten it for you. I'm foreshortening it like this. Now we're on top of the circle. We're even more. I'll even make it more like this. If I put it like this, Now we're more on top of the ceiling. You see that? Now we're on top of the ceiling because I drew it so thinly that we're at the edge of our box or the building or whatever you want to refer to as. Now we're not here anymore. We're more here. Okay? I was just about to ask if you could talk about perspective. Yes, that is very important to know. So it's all about the more you want something to be looked down, the more something you want something to look down, the more likely it has to be foreshortened in such a perspective. So like if I were to draw the head and I wanted to, if I wanted to draw the head and I wanted to look down, I would draw it like this. Or better yet, I'll put a visor like this. Like that. That's one way of doing it. Oh yeah, and another thing, I think a lot of people tend to think when you're making the neck, or you're drawing the back of the head, they think that this is like, it's like this. But it's not. The head, if I were to break this down like this, the head ultimately is like this. That's literally the head. That's literally the head. That's the head. That's your head. That's literally what your head would look like. And then the neck. Okay. See, like that's what I'm saying here. And you can just keep making the body and building off that from that point in your imagination the way you want, but like I'm just saying you that's the head really. The head is really like that. That's really your head. And then your ears is under this and all that stuff, but that's not important. So ultimately everything falls under the moniker of knowing your angle, knowing how to foreshorten. Remember, foreshortening is drawing something more exaggerated than it's supposed to be. To give it more depth. That's how you can get away with this type of thing. I would, to practice this, those of you who are wondering, there are 3 shapes you should practice when you're doing perspective and foreshortening. 1, circles. 2, squares. And then, well, pretty much cubes, if anything. Spheres and circles. No, just spheres. Spheres, cubes, cylinders. Now you must be wondering why a cylinder. A cylinder is just a combination of these two when you think about it. Because if I make a square like this, it's literally what that is. But remember, it's circular at the under it, so it's still a circle. So it's a combination of the two. If you can master these 3, you have a better time drawing your bodies because the body is made of circles, squares, and cylinders. Mainly cylinders, if you think about it. Your arms is a cylinder, your legs a cylinder, your stomach's a cylinder, your fingers are cylinders. The only thing that's pretty much square is probably your palm. I think that's your palm, probably your feet, and then your feet can be triangled and or it could be a prism and or square depending on what angle you're trying to do it from. Yeah, geometrical shapes, yes, pretty much. That's what you need to learn. This is your forms. You must understand your forms. Now, there's 2 ways of understanding form. You can use it by using shadows, or you use it by cross-hatching. Cross-hatching. Okay? If you learn these 2, you don't have to learn one or the other. You can pick one, but if you want to learn both, that's even more better. So like cross-hatching is pretty much using lines to shade, but you're not shading with color or even with grayscale. You're just literally, like, think of Horikoshi from My Hero Academia. He does that a lot. He uses his abilities to cross-hatch it more, or you can use Kubo's, for instance. He uses that method too. Mostly any mangaka or manga or anime type person uses that a lot, but I feel like it's pretty synonymous with Kubo and Horikoshi's. They use a lot of cross-hatching to give you a sense of depth or a sense of where the lighting's coming from without actually coloring anything. Okay, you can even see it here in Lou's work. He uses cross-hatching here and there. So I'm gonna show you an example real quick. See here, under her neck, cross-hatching. She didn't shaded this, he just cross-hatched and where the light's coming from. I already know where the light's coming from. Mostly it's coming from a top-down perspective because of the light, because the way that this is pointing, the way this shadow's pointing, it's coming from a down perspective. Under here, there's shading. I can see under the armor shading here, shading here, shading here. Once I know where the direction of the neck is going, most likely you can tell most cases. If you can tell where the light's coming from just the neck alone. If you can read this, you can pretty much know where everything else is falling in place. You don't have to like think like 15 events steps ahead. You don't have to think that. Do you draw a nose or lips in different angles? Yeah. Yes, I do. I was just explaining this with heads. So like, for instance, this character, her hair is in the way, so there's more shading here. There's more ambient occlusion that's here. Now, if you don't know what the ambient occlusion is where the darkest darks is, where the lights cannot reach. Like, think of when you close your hands and you're in the light room and you look in your fist, it's dark as hell. That's ambient occlusion. That's where light cannot reach. Oh, I thought the hardest for everyone was hands. No, that hands is a thing on its own, but perspective is ultimately where hands prevail. If you can understand perspective, you can beat hands pretty easily. So like for instance, I think if I can make a hand right now and I put in the perspective of the mitten like this. Now I know that I want my thumb to be here. Okay, and then my finger will be here. Okay, and then my other finger, my middle finger is going to touch here because I know where the length of the finger is. And then this other finger is going to go here. And then the pinky, oops. Pinky is gonna go like this. Oops. Oops. I'm gonna make this finger like this. Like, it's not the perfect hands, but because I have at least a good grasp of understanding where the positioning should be in the of the you see that? Now, it's not the perfect angle, and it's still kind of constructed kind of mediocre-ish, but like the fact that I made this hand the biggest part, and I made the body as it goes a lot smaller as it goes with foreshortening. This could be foreshortened even more. I can bend this to my will even more if I could, but I'm just giving you a sense of what I'm saying here. Like, once you have a sense of direction of where you're going, knowing your angles, you can kind of get away with it. You can tell by just looking at this. This is the hand, this is the head, this is the torso, this is the stomach, this is the legs. Like, these are not even supposed to be showing. If anything, this is more wrong because I'm showing too much. If you want something to really, you're supposed to subtract as much, but have a curvature to itself. So that's how you can get, now it looks more, see how more dramatic it looks now, because I pulled back some body parts to overlap others, and because I did that, it looks a lot more convincing now. Now it looks like he's really jumping, or even if he's jumping, he looks like he's really reaching for it, okay? That's how, if you practice this, you can literally get away with a lot, even though you may not be anatomically correct. Because there's one thing that a lot of people tend to focus more on, how something looks than something being right. You know what I'm saying? You want something to look, we prefer something that is aesthetically pleasing than something being accurately right. That's just our nature, most cases. That is normal. I thought that, okay, that's usually extremely normal. We like to look at a girl who, like, let's use an example. We like using a girl who's really pretty. We'll listen, like, most men will listen to a girl who's pretty than a girl who's not, even if she's saying correct stuff. It's just, I know that's a harsh way of looking at it, but that is a literal truth. And if girls, you might know what I'm referring to. I'm pretty sure you girls has been subjected to a situation where you've been speaking straight facts, but because your looks levels is not on the same as another girl, probably your friend, your sister, your cousin, whoever, and they saying something stupid, even though they may say something really stupid, and you're like, you know, that doesn't make any sense, but you boys are listening to her because she has like something going for her that is obviously attached. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. A perfect example. Girls who stream, for instance. Girls who are e-streamers are, I won't refer to them as e-thoughts. Girls who actually likes to play video games on Twitch, who wants to get good at, let's say, Valorant, Overwatch, League of Legends and stuff, and take the game literally seriously. They don't wear revealing outfits to get attention or anything like that. They literally sit there, they game, they take their time, they make their jokes, they have their fun, they try to learn, they strat, they do their practice, they do their scrimmage and shit like that. And then there's that one girl who you know, or you don't know personally, but you know who's using her so-called assets, so a bunch of people are watching her, even if she sucks at said game. You know what I'm talking about. And it's frustrating for most girls who are trying to take the whole like Twitch thing seriously and trying to get into the esports scene. Let's just say they're trying to get into that. And then the one girl who's acting like you know, bimbo-ish is getting away with it because she has something going for her that you have enough, I guess, self-respect to do with yourself. And I'm not gonna actually go at the girl who's doing it, because, you know, if I were the same girl, I probably would do the same damn thing too. I'm not gonna pretend like I wouldn't do it if I was a hot girl doing what she was doing. It is what it is. It does happen, and it's just one of the most sad realities of life. It's just like a dude who's like 6 foot and he's an idiot, and you're like 5'1" and you're smart, but no girl's going to give you a chance because maybe the height is the thing that's really in the way, and that shouldn't be your problem. I know it's your problem, but it shouldn't be your end all be all. There's going to be girls who are going to accept you for who you are, whether you're 6 foot or 4'1" or whatever case may be, and like you for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying as an example. To get good at this, you need to practice. Like Tina and yes, like them. And then that like Amaranth and, you know, Linity, you know how this goes. So like it's annoying, but it's one of those harsh realities of life. You just have to deal with, you know, and just like work with what you have. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand completely, and I can sympathize with women who are just trying to, you know, game, have fun, and not trying to like pull an audience that they know is very fickle. And I know most girls don't want that shit, and most girls don't want that issue. So anyway, so the point I'm trying to say is that to learn to do this, you must practice your squares. Oh, pretty much your cubes. Practice your cubes. So like practice like a lot of cubes. Do it like a warm-up first. You don't have to sit there and draw cubes all damn day. Just do a warm-up, and then when you feel good at it, see how well you can put something in perspective. So like say for instance, I want to draw a square from bottom I'm looking from bottom top. So it's at top in the air, but I'm looking at it from the bottom. Easy. I can command that because I know I have an understanding of how that works. And to prove that, I'll even highlight where the bottom is. So I feel accurate in that sense, okay? Or if I want to draw something from top bottom, so the square is at the bottom and I'm looking from the top. So boom, 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 bada bing, bada boom, okay? Right there, okay? Now, where am I seeing this from? From the top here. That's the top. Bottom. Bottom. Top. Okay? I want to see the square from a more direct approach of, I want to look directly at the top of the square. So I'm going to do this again, make a square, and then make it very exaggerated, but make it very slant. Slant it really good. Don't let it be seen so easily. There you go. We're at the top. I want to look at from the very bottom. So like, I'll make a square again. Wait, it's loading. You're very helpful. No problem. No problem. I tried my best. Is what I do. Guys, if you enjoy what you see here, please follow the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitch and stuff. If you don't know where to find that, you go to my Instagram right here. I'll give you guys a sense of reference so you guys know what I'm talking about. You go to YouTube or Instagram. You click on my link tree right here. This is link tree. You click it. When you go to there, it goes straight to right here. It will open up. It will say architectures, my logo here and everything. It says YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Trovo, Redbubble, and Patreon. You guys don't have to go to the Redbubble, the Patreon right now. I'm not focusing on that till we get to 1,000 on YouTube. We're very close. We're at 891. I would love to get us to 1,000, so let's hope we get 5 or 6 more people today. If you guys really want to help, I would love to pass 5 or 6 people today of subscribing on YouTube, because I really want to make those tutorials for you guys. The tutorials are going to be 5 to 10 minutes long. I don't want them to be super long for you guys to be sitting there and like bashing your head and trying to get to point A, point B. I try to make them quite short and to the point, just how I teach. It'll be even faster. If you guys find this fast on how I'm teaching and you're getting it, it's going to be even better when I'm teaching it on YouTube and it's edited and it's to the point. There's no distractions, there's nothing, so you guys can get what you're getting out of this. So if you do understand, if you're getting it, if you're understanding it, if you're having fun watching this in any way, please follow the YouTube. And then from that point, once we get to the 1,000, all my time will be focused on making videos, TikTok videos, and I'll put the TikTok videos from Instagram on there too for those of you who are on Instagram. And then also I will be making exclusive stuff for my patrons. I'll be focusing on patrons, on locals, and Patreon and locals, and then I'll have some merch from Redbubble and Teesprings. So you guys have a bunch of merch you can get discounts on and stuff like that. So of work I've done and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy what I'm doing, and I hope it's helpful. You can always refer back to this, and you can see if what I'm teaching you is anything mirroring to what you're learning in art school or in art class. It doesn't have to be art school per se, like a university or a community college. You can be in high school and you have an art class. You can ask your teacher if what I'm saying is accurate or at least close, or if it's not, you can at least see if it helps you, because no matter how much I might be wrong on something, if it got you to point A to point B, is it really truly wrong, or is it helpful enough for you just to get by? So look at it that way. Okay. Hey, Flowey. That won't help unless you actually use it in art. Let me see. What are you saying? That won't help unless you actually use it in art. Depending on what, I'm not really sure what you're saying. It's specifically over there, Lost. I'm just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Lost World. Everyone, ever since Juice WRLD, everyone wants their name at World like that. Now, if I want to draw something from a bottom perspective, like a very exaggerated bottom perspective, I would do it like this, like 1, 2, this, and then let's see here. This is more of a subtle. Oh, you know what? I'm going to let you know. If you want those subtle angles, and I know those subtle angles are usually the most annoying compared to something very obvious. Like, let's just say something from a slightly top angle. So, like, for instance, if I were to draw this like this, instead of drawing it like how I drew this, I would slightly draw it a little bit slant. So, like, 1, 2, 3, oops, and then oops. And I want to be very clear on something to those of you who are doing squares and stuff. Try to be as parallel and be as parallel as possible with your drawings, because the more accurate you are with your squares, the more easier this gets. It's more easier to construct them and not feel like and I think that's where a lot of students tend to mess up. They try to get the square down as fast as possible, but they don't try to make the square as accurate in its nonsense. So, like, try to be as accurate. I can't talk today. When you're making your lines, so they feel convincing. Okay. You know, I'm telling people not to draw cubes all day. Yeah, don't draw cubes all day. Don't do that. I'm not telling you to go draw cubes all day. I'm saying get the concept, but don't just draw cubes. You're not going to learn. The one thing that I think is a giant misconception for my students, or just any students in general, whether you're in art school or in a university, for art or graphic design or whatever case may be, or for video games, do not bash your brains on the wall just to prove that you know the wall. That makes no sense. What you're supposed to do is understand that, okay, I'm trying to draw in an angle. Try to experiment with the angle, not the cube. The cube is just the subject, okay? The angle is what you're trying to get. Understand, because to understand the cube, be accurate as possible with your lines. That's 1, 2, 3. And then try to put it in an angle that is very uncomfortable. If you're having a hard time doing it, just keep doing the angle, not the cube, okay? I know this is probably hard to understand in some form, but if you get what I'm saying here, it is not about the cube. It's about the angle. Okay? Now, you can use the horizon line if that makes it easier for you. Like you put a point here, right? And then you put a line here, and then you put here, and then everything from this point has to be adjacent to this. And you can do that. But I wouldn't recommend doing this, because based on what I've asked a lot of other artists, they rarely ever use the horizon line. If anything, if you're doing environmental stuff, then yeah, the horizon line is important in most cases. And yeah, the horizon line keeps things quite accurate in most cases, but most of the time they're not drawing a horizon line. See, the horizon line is in their mind's eye already because of so much practice, right? If you watch like a tutorial on YouTube, I tell you right now, when they're doing the horizon line, they'll do this thing where they 1, 2. They'll try to use a line. They don't even try to make this connect. They'll try, if you look at most professionals, they'll draw the line like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then there. They don't even try to get all the way over here, because they're trying to eyeball it so well, because they practice it so much, you know what I'm saying, that now that's I think about, it's almost everything is made of cubes, squares, and cylinders. That's a good thing though, because everything is made of cubes, cylinders, and circles in most cases. Like, I would, if you want to even get better at this, I would just use a cylinder, because a cylinder, if believe it or not, is literally a square and a circle in one. And it makes it more harder because this is circle-ish, and then you have to use your sense of eye to make sense of the circle, because this can get dramatic real fast, right? Like 1. And if you don't angle your circle correctly to your, like this, If you don't angle it correctly, it's going to look flat. So that's what makes the cylinder harder, because it is a round square, if you think about it. That's what that is. Compared to a square, you can kind of get away with it because it's like angles. And if you're relatively close to the edges, you can pretty much have a square and don't think too badly of it, compared to a cylinder. And you have to make sure that these lines don't look weird. You have to be pretty accurate when doing this and make it look convincing. It's Clip Studio Paint, yeah. So like, look closely at these things. This is why I don't go beyond and try to teach you guys a lot of anime eyes and all that stuff right now, because I don't think that's important. I think I should save that for the YouTube videos. I teach you guys the basics, because if you can literally get the foundation of the basics, if you can literally learn the basics, you can get away with a lot of crap.
I'll turn off the heat for you.
Please. I don't know why you turn that shit on. That thing.
Cold.
How? You sick. You're probably sick. Okay, like this. And then I make an eye. And then me teaching you how to draw this is not going to help you. You understanding how to draw the eye, now that's a different story. Okay? I don't think you get anything out of the idea of me just drawing this and then everything's okay. Okay? I think you learn more when I teach you like I'm very well versed in drawing anime eyes. Almost any I can draw virtually any anime eye with little to no trouble at all. Like, it's very rare if I have a trouble with it, like Dragon Ball. But anyone can draw a Dragon Ball, in my opinion. I think anyone can draw a Dragon Ball. Because, like, if one thing that Akira Toriyama has taught us, he used his forms to make most of the characters. Like, look at, like, from Dragon Ball, from DB, from Dragon Ball, basic Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z and DBS, and I guess GT, whatever. What happens here is that he has taught us the idea of using a lot of geometric forms, like from the eyes, even the heads. The only thing that probably lacks geometric form in a weird way, but doesn't, is probably the hairstyles. But the hairstyles now has a more metallic sense to themselves in Toriyama's art style. Are just squares. Yeah, it's literally just squares if you stop and think about it. Because if you look at Dragon Ball, everything's more soft and made like think about it. Goku was much softer, rounder. You know, that was Goku's face was really soft, really chibi looking if you stop and think about it. All the characters all circular. Even like back in the Broly movie, they kind of mix between DB and DBZ. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of mixed between DB and DBZ, because if you look closely, Dragon Ball from the Broly movie, everything's more softer, more rounder compared to Dragon Ball S, to Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super is like a lot like when you look at the opening songs of Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi. If you look at the old games, it was pretty metallic, right? But now in Dragon Ball Super, it's metallic and refined. But now in Dragon Ball Broly, it is not metallic, it's much softer but yet refined. So it's a mix between the two. If you really stop and look at Goku's eyes, you look at Goku's hair, if you look at Goku's clothing, even the facial expressions, they're not as metallically straight as it used to be on Dragon Ball Super compared to Dragon Ball Broly. You see what I'm saying? If you go and analyze these things, you're just like, oh, I can see the difference now, right? Like, some people, I was explaining this I think it was last Saturday. Someone asked me my opinion on the Dragon Ball art style, and I was saying that in my opinion, the Dragon Ball art style feels quite limited and I don't know why, but it comes off limited in its aesthetic. Okay, like think about it. If you look at Dragon Quest, or Chrono Trigger, they're from the same person, right? But for some odd reason, I feel like there's a little bit more variety between these two compared to Dragon Ball. And I don't know why. Maybe there's more creatures in design, and there's more females in design, but like when it comes to the males, they just look like either between Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta in some form with Super Saiyan hair, right? This is why I don't like drawing Dragon Ball art style, because it always falls in this situation where when you're drawing Dragon Ball, you just gotta say, is that Goku or Vegeta or Gohan, and then that gets real frustrating real fast. You know what I'm saying? Because the geometric shapes are just so aesthetically. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I lost connection. The geometrical shapes are so aesthetically there that are just square. It doesn't feel anything different. It doesn't bring anything to the table. The only time it got real different is Dragon Ball Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly, because everything's softened now. Once everything got softened, it feels much easier to get a little bit more variety of the characters' expressions, more of their body types. You know, it feels much more organic in movement, expression, and all these type of things. So this is something you should take in. Oops, we're losing you. Can you guys hear me? Am I breaking up? Can you guys hear me? I'm not sure. So you guys, let me know if you guys can hear me. So just to get back on reference, learn your squares, but don't practice the square. Practice the angle, okay? Don't practice the square, practice the angles, okay? That's what I want. That as a teacher, that's what I want to teach you guys. Learn the literal angles. Do not practice the squares. The squares is just a form of subject to reference to the angle, okay? And remember, to get those subtle angles, those really hard subtle angles, it's all about slight slant drawing. So like if I slightly draw this, like slightly, it feels much more, it feels a lot more curved, like that. I'm not curved, but like a lot more subtle compared to me just doing 1, 2, and making it very obvious from this point. You know what I'm saying? It's not really accurate because the way I didn't make them parallel from each other. Okay, you're back now. And he says for anatomy. Pretty much you learn your shapes. Like I said before, you learn your shapes. Shapes, form, gesture, perspective, and then learn your proportions. If you learn those 4 things, if you master these 4 things, you'll do fine. Okay, when I say shapes, I'm literally 2D shapes. When I say forms, I'm saying 3D shapes. When I say gestures, the fluidity. Because a lot of people ask this question, what is the difference between the gesture drawing, what's the difference between the gesture and figure drawing compared to just drawing anatomy? When people say draw anatomy, they're saying under the moniker of draw in detail, okay? Like for instance, if I were to draw a shoulder, let's say if I were to draw a shoulder right now. And this is the back. I'll go with this. Like this is the back, and this is the. Or to draw the shoulder, it'll look perfect, right? Or if I were to draw, just the fact of I draw like a nose. This is supposed to be a nose. And give you a sense of reference that this is a nose. I'll give you an eye, just to give you a sense of where everything is kind of placed. Okay. And this is the nose. Right. Now, this is not anatomy. This is more of a gesture drawing or figure drawing because it's just placing where everything is, okay? But if I were to go in as like a legit anatomy, the fuck? They're asking for details. Accurate details, that's what that really truly means. So we need to figure out like where the nose is and all that stuff, and putting this nose in and then put this eyebrow and making sense of everything and make it. That's what people are meaning when they say anatomy. It's your understanding of detail and placement. That's what ultimately what that means when they say anatomy of the human body. It's anatomy and literally in all honesty, it's just detail and placement of the human body. I'm with human body. Yeah, I spelled that wrong on purpose. The human body. I learned in Japanese the word human means Nigan. Nigan. The Nigan body. I just learned that today. I'm still learning my Japanese, so. Anyway, so anatomy. Well, this is not the definition, but I'm saying in a term of being an artist, just to keep it really simple, it means the detailed placement of the human body. It's Clip Studio Paint. That's what I draw on. So like when people say that's the difference between anatomy and gesture. Gesture is trying to get the fluidity of something. That's ultimately what gesture is. It's the idea of getting it is about the fluidity. It's about the fluidity of a movement or something. It's about breaking that stiffness, and you want it to be like this. You ever draw something? You ever draw like a head and a body, and it feels like this, like a robot, like beep bop boop boop bop. Like it doesn't. It's just like boop beep bop boop boop bop. Human. You know, it just looks insane. Like you can have it. Like you can have the robot that you're trying to draw, or the human robot that you're mistakenly drawing to look like anatomy right. You can have it all anatomy right, but if it looks like this, then is it really a drawing? Is this the desired drawing? Now, if you made the drawing, if you made said drawing more, let's just say more accurate by putting like more of a fluidity of the body or so, or probably make a woman's body. Make a woman's body probably, and then. It's not the perfect example. I'm just using this as an example, so don't think I'm trying to draw the best thing right now. But if the fact that this is moving with more fluidity, it's more interesting. Could you move it over a bit? Oh, I got rid of it already. Okay, let me put it like this. Okay, there we go. So I hope this helps you guys in any way. Hello, Remidra. If I'm saying that, Remidra. No, it's Remidra. It's Remidra. I'm sorry. Hello, Remidra. Thank you for the face. Oh, so cute. Okay, so yeah, so that's what gesture. Gesture is the fluidity of something. It's not about the muscles. It's not about it's not the accuracy of the arm or the eyes, where it's just the idea of the movement. It feeling right. It's feeling not stiff. It's not feeling like, for instance, I'll use this as an example. You see how this character has her hips? Like her hips is here, and everything's just kind of curved, like very lightly. Oh, I want you guys to see more. Okay. You see how he has the characters? Her head is like this, and it's curved. Arms are all like, it's just this softness of movement, right? That's what you want. You don't want it being anatomically correct and her shoulders not up. You have it too like robotic, and it's gonna look weird. You don't want that. Like even this is like, it's just a subtle gesture. Not a lot's going on, but because the subtleness of gestures happening, if you feel a sense of movement, you have a sense of convincing to yourself. Like this one, this is even expressing something. Her sense of her breast is pushing out, not completely, but it's pushing out. Her arms are a lot more higher. Her hands are here. Her face is turned this way. You know what I'm saying? Her body's facing this way, but her face is facing this way. So like it's these little things, and I know this may sound intimidating. Don't let this intimidate you. This will be internally, if you practice this will be more internal than you think. And if it becomes more internal, then it's gonna be easy for you to repeat this without studying it all day, every day. Okay? You may not believe me, and that's fine. You may not believe me. You don't think you're going to retain any of this information, but if you practice it, you will intuitively know what to do. It's like if you play, those of you who are my gamers out there, if you play Overwatch, League of Legends, Valorant, or CSGO, after a while of playing a game, or Halo, or after playing a game for a good while, or even, it doesn't have to be online, it could be Hollow Knight, I don't care, it could be Super Mario, Smash Brothers, whatever. After a time playing a game for a good while, you have an instinctive knowledge of doing X, Y, and Z, okay? So like those of you who play a Tracer, or play a Junkrat, or play a Sigma, a Roadhog, a Risa, or all of them, you know what I'm saying, or Bridget, or Brigitte, I think that's her, Brigitte. After a while playing a game, after many loses, remember all those losses you get from video games, it's you refining your work of what not to do next time. Or you're playing Apex Legends, like when you first played a Battle Royale, you didn't know what to do, but after a while playing Call of Duty, or whatever the case may be, I'm just shooting these names out, those of you who are at least have some type of gamers. Yes, have some type of understanding of gaming, you will have an intuitive understanding of how to move around in said game. You know where not to go, where to look for what items, what loot boxes, you know what I'm saying? So you have a good understanding. So when I'm explaining this to you, and you guys must be wondering, how do I remember all this? I do not have a paper to remember this to refer back to. I do not. This all happens from the idea of practice and just instinctive reactionary conditioning. That's it. So when you guys ask me how you make a head, I can just make a head because I've done it so many times. So don't let this scare you. If you're not going to retain any of this, you will retain it. You just don't know. It's going to happen more than you think. It's those things like riding a bike. It's muscle memory. Yes, that's really ultimate. It's muscle memory in your mind, making the decisions on autopilot, and that's one of the best things. That's so when people say, "I wish I can draw like that," you can. It's just that you need to practice. So that's. But what they're focusing is the art style and how nice it looks. Not I can construct the mouth. I know where the nose is. I know where the eyes is. Because remember the ear, which is not technically the gear, but the gear of the gear that's the side of the head will determine where the eyes are looking, where the eyebrows, depending on how big you make your gear too. That also plays a part. Depending on how big you make your gear, the side of your head, because I refer to it as a gear. Those of you who have ever seen like what do you call it, Soul Eater. Those of you who've seen Soul Eater, I don't think everyone's seen it, or I'm probably old for saying this, but like those of you who've seen Soul Eater, if you remember Dr. Stein, he has that giant cog or gear on the side of his head and he twists it, think of it that way. And it has a bit of a line. So that line gives you a sense of like a placement of where he's looking. Let's put it that way. Don't use the character, but use the concept I'm saying. So like, as big as I made this, 1, 2. Now, if I made this small, will this be the same? Yes and no. Yes, because the visor has not changed in direction, but it hasn't changed. No, it hasn't changed in visor direction, but it has changed in ear placement and size. So if I made it big, please be aware of that. So if I made it big, like a big giant cog on the side of his head, and then I made the ear will look slightly bigger than it would because I'm trying to compensate for the biggestness for the size of the cog. But 9 times out of 10, I am still going to make the head easy to read because I understand how to read said map. And because I know the map, I know where the hairline is. The hairline is at the very tip of this, so the hairline's right here. So if I wanted to make a hair look up like this because he's looking up, I know where the hair stops, right here. Okay, so if I want the character to look up, I have a good understanding of that. And I put the shading over the chin. You see how that works? I will talk about, I know on YouTube I did not talk about perspective at all, but I will talk about perspective as soon as we get to 1,000. I think that'll be my comeback video. I think it'll be perspectives. And then I'll go back and I'll go, what I'm going to do, I might work down from the head, the eyes, the mouth, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, the neck, shoulders, I guess arms, chest and torso, torso, chest and stomach, legs, and then we're going to go from legs to feet. And then we'll just do all the body parts from that point. Or I'll just see what you guys rather. I'll make you guys vote on that. So what I'm going to do is, those of you who will follow on the YouTube, once I make the next YouTube video, which once 1,000 comes through, I will make a YouTube video. And I'll be making at least one YouTube video probably every 3 months. Oh, no, not 3 months. I said it wrong. I think I'll make 2 videos a month or 3 videos a month. So that's 2 or 3 videos a month. I think that's fine. So 1 video a week. And I don't think it'll take me that long to edit them, but I'll make it 2 videos a month. So, you know. Cylinder. Okay, you're awesome. Thank you. Bye. Okay, you're leaving Flowey? Okay, muscle memory. Okay, that's pretty much it. Guitar. Could you move it over? Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now I was going to talk about necks, but I only got an hour left, so I guess we'll jump on necks. So I'm going to make a head real quick. And necks are really important, and I think it's an overlooked body part most cases, just like the feet, I think, because we don't really focus on feet too much. I don't think we do. I think we focus more on like heads, hands, and positioning than the actual body parts. So like necks are really important. Now if you're making a neck, you have to be aware of something. The neck has, I'm still learning the neck too, so I'm just giving you guys what I've learned so far. The neck has a lot of working parts that is happening. So the best way, based on what I learned from Cynics, those of you who probably are familiar with him or his work, Cynics said, look at the what do you call it? The collarbone, like bike handles, like for like a bike, right? And the neck, what are we learning? We're learning heads and neck, but I did a lot of talking of the head and perspectives and stuff. So we're moving on to the last subject because I only got an hour left. I'm going to talk about the neck. Now, when it comes to the neck tends to be a V, like this, going down to the, I don't know the right the term, but it's called something with a ST. It starts with ST. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the right anatomy term, medical term, but it's a big word. But please bear with me on this. So like when you're making a neck, especially if it's like a male, males' necks have something called the Adam's apple, or their larynx. Their larynx is much thicker than a woman's. Most males. I'm not saying that all males have giant like larynxes, but the more deep larynx is, or more defined the larynx is, the more deeper the voice of the character is. So like if the neck is very, let me use an example. If I made the neck like this, like this, right? The neck, this right here, will indicate not how deep, but he will have a deeper voice than one who had none. Women do have this too, but theirs is very shaven. They're very small compared to males, or so. So you have to keep that in check when doing something like this, okay? Oh, nope. Thank you. No problem. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I like how you did that. Yeah, but so let me use examples so my terrible drawings won't get through. So like, let me get a male real quick. Like, okay, let's go with this guy. Now, males' necks are much thicker than women's, most cases, especially if they're like 6 foot or so. Their necks are much bigger, even by default, even if they don't work out. They're usually much thicker, much more masculine, more defined, more muscles are going here. You gotta keep that in check. Body is usually much more wider, most cases. Let me find another angle for this. I might have to go to Pinterest for this. Women's necks, just to be clear on something, I know he aesthetically did this on purpose, but the neck is not like this. It's not, a neck is not a straight line thing like when you draw a character frontwards. Their neck is not boom boom. It is actually quite like this. It just doesn't compute like that. It just doesn't work like that. Most cases a neck will look like this with a line and then a diamond. It will look like a diamond, like a form of a map, and this would something you would use as a form of reference to see where X, Y, and Z is. But remember, to know this, the bottom of the neck here is always smaller, and the top of the neck is usually wider. That's something you should always keep in mind. The top of the neck is usually wider, the bottom of the neck is usually smaller, okay? And then what will happen is that the neck still goes down to the collarbone like this. So everything has to make sense, okay? So like a woman's neck will look like this, most likely. It's gonna like this. It's very soft. It's very it's not as it has defining, but it doesn't have a defining like a male's, because a male's neck will be much bigger, thicker, a lot more with muscle and depth. Okay, there's and then the shoulder here. See, that's how, unlike a woman, okay, so that's the difference here. I love draw males. I love draw males. Okay. So that's something you should always keep in mind in most cases in this situation, okay? Oh, guys, those of you on Instagram, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let me use a form of reference. So, like, he did this on purpose with the neck looking like this, and he can get away with this most cases because we've seen situations like this, but most cases, if we're talking about necks like in anime, the neck is never this straight. Actually, the neck is a lot more curved, if anything. But this is ecstatic, more of a, because the neck is never this straight like this. It can seem that way, but it's not. It's usually curved a little bit, just a little bit. so you have a sense of or that organic type feel. Okay, so like let's see here. See, like for instance, like the neck here, this is fine because when the head is turned, the neck tends to do this thing. Well, actually, if I were to draw this, the neck will go like this because the neck actually goes to the rib cage in the middle here. Most cases, I always thought that necks were two straight lines. No, it's not what you think. That's an aesthetic, if anything. If you look at let me go to Pinterest. I'll use an example because like it may say hello K-Ritz. hello. Now, like, let me see. I was looking at necks earlier. Oh, how to draw necks. Oops. Did I not aim it? Oh wait, no, I think it's loading. Hold on. Yeah, it was loading. Now let's look at this very closely. See, when the neck turns, there is a definition that comes through. If we're talking very more realistically, when the neck turns, the neck here pops out. The neck pops out when the head turns. When the head turns, well, depending if it's looking, if the head is looking somewhere like, how can I explain it? It's really hard to just give you a sense of direction like this. So like, the neck is popping out like this. And are you supposed to draw the neck like this every time? No. But it's trying to give you a sense of direction. So like, just be aware of what's going on here. Because remember, like I said, the neck is going to the collarbone. So it's actually a V that's going into the neck. So like, it's like okay, like this, and then well, let me see how the direction is. Direction like that. Okay. So if the direction is okay, like that, and the neck is like this, it is a V going to the collarbone. Most cases. This is not the best. Okay, like this, and then like that. Okay, and then it's not the best because I'm still learning how to do necks too, but like this is how you should look at it, because the neck, it's like that, because it's going to the it's going to the collarbone. It always refers back to the collarbone. There's never a time that the neck is not going from or to the back of the head or whatever case may be. It's always here. So this should be always like a form of starting point or ending. So like a V with a triangles on the side for yes, because I think a lot of them tries to draw it like this, and you can get away with this because anime, but you should really put traps. If you're making a more bigger character, you're going to have to draw the giant traps on the side. On like this, or it's a weird thing. And this is something that you have to practice, and I'm going to be practicing this for a good 3 weeks. Because I really felt like my neck has not been quite defined in a correct positioning. See, for instance, like the back of the neck never truly moves. It never truly moves when you're constructing a neck. It never truly moves. If anything, I think the front moves compared to the back. The back is technically connected to the spine in a sense. Hey, Wolfie! I didn't see you there. So always keep that in mind. See, like for instance, what I was saying earlier, the neck isn't straight like this. It is not straight like this. If you have a drawing and it looks like this, you're doing it wrong. The neck pops out. It pops out like this. Even when standing up, if their head is like this, right, and then the neck is like this. Okay. Look back. Yeah. Just about. I want to actually take off this part here. Can't be on for long, but thoroughly check it out. Okay. Because today we're just focusing on angles and heads and all that stuff. Okay, so that's pretty much what that is. Right? So there's so many ways how the neck is constructed. And it's really hard to sometimes get this because it is hard to understand it. Oh, and there's other ways of constructing the body. You use circles and stuff if you want to try that out. But I usually don't use this method. I usually just kind of use cylinders in a sense. Because some people use cylinders like this. I mean circles. I use cylinders. It just makes it easier for me to read it. That's just me. So I know what I'm dealing with in that sense. Okay. Maybe it'll be easier. Probably might try it out, but I have never truly tried that technique before. See how I hate this fucking program sometimes. It just makes me mad. Okay. Come on, fix yourself. I need to get back to work. Thank you. So like this. So always keep that in mind. I will find the very helpful wait, what? Let me see. So like a V, okay, read that. Okay, can't. I will find the very helpful since I'm still practicing on poses. Okay, really? I'm still stuck on clothes and folds. Well, I think you should learn anatomy first before you get the clothes, because once you get to understand anatomy, the clothes is going to be just second nature from that point, because there's not a lot going on when it comes to clothes. Clothing it's annoying, but it's not hard after a while of practice. It's just learning the behavior and the material of what you're dealing with. That's ultimately what that is. It's not about some special secret move. If anything, in most cases you might see these things where artists will do this thing where they'll make a skirt like this, right? And then they'll do and then they'll make a skirt like that or something. It's a funny thing, you know, like okay, like this and like this. Like depending on what you're trying to do, if you practice something like this, you'll probably get it more. And it's fun after a while, but when you want to act a certain way, it gets annoying. But after a while of practice and learning hems and angles and stuff like that with clothing, which I recommend, was it Zoe? Or was it, I think it was Zoe Hung. I recommend her to learn how to do clothing. I learned from her how to do clothing and how to understand it to an extent. Okay, like this. And then I think we got the frilly stuff. I got how they make the frilly stuff, but this is how you make a skirt, or at least those frilly stuff with the skirt. Okay, or so. That's like once you start practicing that, you'll understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's just practice. If you keep practicing and you get a good understanding of the concept, not the subject that you're using, you'll get through. Hello. Is the shading... I'm still a beggar at what? Beginner, I mean. Beginner at everything. I made it just to say, but my friend just bought me cookies. That's kind of cool. We all know that artists be squiggling them lines, then they draw skirts. Yep, they do that. It's a weird thing that they do. I never understood it, but I understand it now, and why they do it. Like I understand how it works. I seen the demonstration, but just doing it correctly always threw me off. I use that kind of method when doing skirt. Yeah, it's a good way of just trying to get something jotted down for like a sense of movement. And it's a lot easier, and I think that's a good way to understand gesture drawing in that sense, because I do that a lot when I do my sketches. I just kind of just keep going. I don't really worry about if it's accurate too much. I just need to get the idea down, and then I'll worry about everything else. So like if I were to like draw this character right here, this one right here, or my right over here, I would, or let me say like, if I were to draw like one of these right now, I would just worry about getting the... Oops. I would do this. And then... I'm not worried about too much on the whole idea. I'm saying I'm just trying to get the... I'm not worried about the accuracy. I'm worried about the gesture. Once you understand the gesture, you can then stop squiggling, turn it down, make a new layer, and then you can... See how that's easy? You see how I didn't worry about, I didn't even think about, I didn't think about anatomy. I'm not thinking about that. That's not going through my brain right now. Can I have one? What? When drawing bodies, I always start doing the torso first. How much time left? We got about 30 minutes left. I would say, like, it's 9:17, but, and then like it's funny because like I don't have to put too much thinking into me drawing this too much. Okay, because I'm not thinking of the anatomy. I can always think about that later and make adjustments later. I'm saying, like, I don't have to think about it, and then I can. I can always worry about that later. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can always adjust this and fix it by turning it down. Turn that down. So I'll do it again. What kind of drawing tablet do you use? As an XP pen, 21.5 monitor, display monitor. So like, this is why I'm not thinking. I didn't think about anything. My brain did not think about any type of anatomy at all. I'm not trying to think about being accurate. I was just trying to get it down. This is what happens when I say learn gesture drawing. Your brain will take autopilot. But remember, the reason, this looks terrible, the reason why you don't want to always go autopilot is because if you're still learning how to construct the body, learn how to construct the body first as you're doing gesture drawing. So when you're doing gesture drawing, see how accurate you are with the drawing that you're trying to convey first, and then you'll know what the hell you're trying to do, right? If you do that, it gets easier, and your brain can go on autopilot and be more accurate without you trying to say, is that looking right? Well, that's how you can get away with that. Thank you. Yes, he did. Okay, no problem. So I hope this helps anyone. How much time left? Did you do? Yes. I did do the head, but the neck, I was referring to earlier that the neck is important to the head because there's two things you should keep in mind when drawing the neck. It is the thinness. Try to be as thin as possible when it comes to women and men. Women's necks are a lot more thinner compared to males' necks, most cases. Okay. And remember that all necks are going back to the middle of the collarbone. So they said always picture the collarbones as bike handles, like a little bike handle, like you're riding a bike. Think of it as riding a bike. So it always refers back to like a V shape. Now for men's necks are usually much more defined than the women in muscle. Okay. And there's a lot more going on there. Same applies though. As you can see, I'm trying to make it. Okay. So keep that in mind. Women's necks, women's necks, women's, and male's necks. Or men's necks. Okay. Can you answer the question that I asked? Okay, hold on. Okay, back. Okay, let me see what I can do. What will be on your shirt? Okay. There. So Crazy asked me a question. He said, I got a question. When drawing a head, I see sometimes people draw the cheek straight line, draw the cheek line straight and some slightly slanted, and I'm confused on how to draw mine. So this is where I was referring to the gear on the side of the head. So when you're drawing the head, let me move these. You're drawing the head. Actually, I actually like how those was constructed. I'm gonna leave it alone. I want those out of the way, but okay. You're drawing the head, right? And then you make another head. You make the gear inside. So I'm gonna make a slant. We're not seeing this other side. We're only seeing this ear. So we're gonna see the ear from here. 9 times out of 10, because the gear, what you see is where most likely the ear will be placed. So I make a slant, curved, and then straight down. Straight down. Okay, easy peasy, right? Now he asked me about the cheek line. This is the line that comes straight down like this. Now how to use this? Well, this is easy. When you're having your gear and you make your crosshair, like the visor that's there, and then the jawline that connects to the bottom of said of gear, what happens is the middle of the gear here, it's the middle of the gear you pull down. It's always placed at the middle of the gear and pull down. Sometimes you can put it at the top of the gear and you can still kind of get the accuracy. I've seen people do that. That's not uncommon. That does happen. But for me, I've been taught that put the line down to the gear and making sure it goes straight to the chin. Make sure it leads to the chin, because what this is for the accuracy of where the chin is being placed, so you don't lose sight of where the chin is. So if I were to do this, I know where the chin is. This lets you know where the chin is direct. So it gives you a more defined understanding where the chin is, where the cheek is. Because remember, what they're doing here is putting a plate. This is a plate, like a platform, think of the luminous method, the luminous head. So let me use an example. Oh yeah, just to let you guys know, this is why I say learn gesture. This is what you're learning in gesture. Because the body is never straight, it's actually always curved, always knows that. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick before I go back doing that. So like, always keep that in mind. Remember, even though see how it's not the spine? I teach you guys this all the time. This is not the spine. The line of action is not the spine. See how it kind of plays with the spine and then literally leaves the spine? The spine is here. Boom, 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 boom. To the crack of the ass, up to the neck. That's funny. To the nip of the neck, all the way to the crack of the ass. That is literally the spine. This of the line goes through the head, all the way down to the foot. So that proves to you that is not. This is not, I repeat, the spine. It helps give you a sense of direction and movement. That's what that is. Please study this. Those of you who need this, I would like to take this and post this on Instagram, but I don't know who's did it, so I like to give people credit for their work. So I can't, and I'm still learning my Japanese, so I can't really read that yet. My Japanese, I'm still learning my kanji. I can read a few characters here, but it's still gonna be hard for me to. I think this is hipu. I think this is no. Peen poo. I think that says peen poo if I'm right. Because I know the circles mean P. In most cases. Anyway. But yeah. What was I doing? Oh yeah, the neck. Okay, to the neck. Google Translate. Am I a joke to you? I hate using Google Translate. I sometimes get the wrong thing too, but hold on. Sorry, crazy. It was chubby one. Sorry, don't know how to describe it. Hold on. The other cheek line. Oh, let me get. I was supposed to write. Loomis method. Hey. Loomis. Loomis method. Okay. All right. Because remember, these are planes. You have to look closely at this like planes. Okay. Let me find it. I guess we'll go with this. The other cheek line. I'm guessing you're referring to this line, this right here? This hard shaped line? Or you're talking about the line that goes like this, what I showed you earlier? Because you can get away with that in the sense of putting it up here and like that. You can do that. If you're talking about this, like doing that, that's just making a hard cheek line. That's all that is. But it's pretty much falling in the same situation. Because you can still do that if you want. Yeah, that right side, yeah. No, to the left. Let's see. You mean right here? Okay, you just give me a picture. Circle it and get. Yeah, just circle the picture and then. I think it'll allow you. Just circle the picture and then. I'll know what you're talking about. Ultimately what this line is. It's supposed to keep. It's supposed to reinforce the direction of the face. That's what it's supposed to do. In most cases. Yes, there. Okay, so like, if you're talking about in like an anime, like example. And I went like this, and then I went like this. If you're talking about literally like this piece of this cheek part, what is it that is throwing you off? Like what is it that you're? What is confusing you about that? If you want to circle it, or at least give me. Oh wait, I'm on your thing right now. Kind of like a 3/4 view. Yeah, like a. I think it means by the 3/4 view. Oops. Sometimes it's drawn slanted, and other times it's drawn at an angle. Well, it depends on. Well, ultimately, it will depend on the angle itself. So, like for instance, if I were to make a circle and I made the circle like this, like say slanted like this, the head is still slanted, like this. This cheekbone will poke out. So I'm gonna do it again. So I make a circle. Make a circle, and then curve it like this. Okay. Like that. So like, depending on how you draw this, that cheekbone will be it will be there more often than you think. It'll always be kind of there all the time. But if it's like situations where we're looking from a bottom down perspective, or like let's say a behind the head type thing. So like if I were to make this and then make a drawing back here. Okay. You won't be able to see you'll see the cheek from like a little bit over here. A little bit, just a little bit. So I'll do it again. Oops. So like that's one of them. Like the cheek will poke out a little bit. It usually does poke out because it's supposed to indicate the face structure. Sometimes like gotta go sleep, good night. Okay, later lost. Like send me a picture that's giving you a hard time. Like give me an example of a picture that's giving you a real hard time that throws you off. If you can send me that, I'll explain it to you. I have about 30 minutes, so I'll give you 30 minutes and I'll jump off. This will be my last thing I teach. I'd rather look at an example. If you can send it to me, and I'll definitely look at it. Nicholas, send me a picture. Ah, this is old classic. This is a great way to learn. This is another way that Nicholas... Oh wait, speaking of Nicholas. Oh my god, Mike! I'm so sorry, Mike! I got here kind of late. Time gesture studies are pretty fun from time like okay, Teenage Phoenix. Hey, sorry, Mike. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm now looking at the chat. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot about it because OBS kept on crashing and I just kind of ignored it. I am so sorry, bro. I'm sorry, guys. Those of you on YouTube, I am so sorry. I will make it up to you guys. I'll make it up to you guys. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean for you guys to get ignored or anything. I totally forgot you guys was there because it kept on crashing, so I just kind of ignored the damn thing. Which I shouldn't have done that in the first place, but... It was like this day was not going well. Everything was not working for some odd reason. Let me know if you sent it, Crazy. I was cooking earlier, okay. I totally forgot, I'm so sorry. Kinda underrated. I was drawing a face, and now I've made a chibi Kirishima. Aw. I'm new here. Sup? Hey, King, what's going on? You have a question? Do you have an art question? I'm an art teacher, so I'm just kind of waiting on a student to show me what he was having trouble with. So if you have a question, I can do a quick demonstration. I only got 30 minutes left till I'm done. Hey, Holland. Hey, bro. What's going on? Hey, Breezy. Breezy Beery. Those of you on Instagram, just to let you guys know, if you guys enjoy what you're seeing here, those of you who are new, or whatever the case may be, please follow the YouTube or the Twitch or Instagram if you guys want to check where that is. I'm an art teacher. I give art, anime art lessons on how to draw heads, necks, arms, legs, blah, 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 all it works. I try to avoid hands, but I do draw hands, and I put things in perspective. So, like, you're having trouble with perspective, I'll give you a good understanding of that. There's Trovo, there's Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and my commissions website. I'll be updating that soon, so like, the prices may change, and I will be updating the looks of my works, because I think I'm in a better place where I am now, somewhat. Okay, let me fix that real quick. I don't like how there's always a long chin and it doesn't mean to be that big. You may get this a lot, but what screen tablet do you use? I was thinking about getting one. If you want to get a screen tablet, you go to my Instagram, or if you want to at least know what the one I'm using, what you should go is, I'm using a, oh, hold up, whoa. Whoa, hold on. Wait, let me look that. Wait, hold on. I don't want TikTok getting mad at me. Hold on, Crazy. Whoa, came in hot with that drawing. Woo! Okay. Let me see this real quick. All right. Okay. So, oh, it's the cheek. Okay, that's still bugging you. Okay, the cheek. So it just the cheek that you're seeing here, like I'll go with this one because it's easier to look at. This one's a lot more tame compared to what I was looking at just a few seconds ago. She almost looked like she had nothing going on. She has something going on, but they did that on purpose. All right, so okay, so like the cheek here, I think this is where you're having a trouble with. So is it that you don't understand the indenting all the time? This is more of an aesthetic if you think about it. I'll use an example. I'll go to, hold on, I'll go to, let me use this for example. like this drawing here, right here. So you're probably having this problem, the indent in the cheek. It just ultimately matters. It ultimately falls under the idea of understanding the perspective. That's just how you want to draw the cheek. There's no wrong way of drawing this cheek. It just matters by the angle. So like for instance, we're not up, we're not down, we're literally eye line. We're on the eye level. We're eye level with this character. So whether the character face, this cheek here that was bent, was more exaggerated, wouldn't matter by the angle. It's literally that it's balanced. So you can exaggerate this as much as you want to if you want. It depends on you. It doesn't matter on anything. But once the angle is changed, like this one for instance, he has a long face, and there's no real indenting because that's just literally based on how you want to draw the face. This is more a preference if you think about it. I don't think this has to fall under the moniker of the right way of drawing a face. Just like for instance, we're from bottom top, right? It doesn't matter if this was indented or not. It didn't have to have an indent. That's just a choice. He could have made the same drawing like this. Like for instance, he could have made the same drawing like this. I don't think this is an important thing to worry about. If it confuses you, don't worry about it. This is just an anime aesthetic. It's just an aesthetic, to me, I think, because if I were to draw that character in a similar fashion, I didn't have to indent anything. Okay, so like here, for instance, I'll put this here, and then there's supposed to be the hair and all that stuff coming from here. That's a choice. I remember seeing this on Instagram. Let me see. I'll show you. People was debating this very thing. Anime heads. And I think it's still up there. Is it headshot or heads? No, heads. Anime heads. Howdy. Hello. Not the indent. There's a slight slant in. I sent a better one. Okay, let me see. Oops. Oh. I'll respond back to them for that. Okay. I sent him a heart. It was just seconds behind him. Okay, let me see. Okay, this is a little bit more tame compared to what I saw earlier. So like, are you talking about like the shape of the head? How long have you been drawing? I've been drawing since I was 5 or 6. But I didn't take it seriously till I was like 22, 23. I'm 26 now, so that tells you something. And when I say take it serious, I'm talking about take it legit serious. Like, I could draw, but I didn't practice as I should have. If I practiced as much as I did now at 6 now, I probably would have been Ross Dross by now. I would have probably surpassed Ross Dross a long time ago. Okay, there's a slight slant in it. You see the angle, it turns the break to the chin. Okay. I think you're talking, I think I know what you're talking about. I think you're talking about if I were to make a circle, and then if I were to, let's just say this is the same drawing, like this, and then I went like this, or something like that. Like, just say, you're talking about the break of the movement of the cheek. I think that's what you're talking about. I think you're talking about if I were to do this, and I was to do this. Oops. Let me do that. Do this. And then I would do this and then break. Like when do you know when to break? This is more intuitive than you. This is more of an instinctual thing than you think. I think that's what you're talking about. You're talking about how can I put this in words? You're talking about the fact of the not construction, but like the breakage of the face itself. Like when do you? I see the angle. It turns the break into a chin. Okay, and then you're talking about when is it time to draw this? I know what you're trying to say. I think I'm just saying it weird, but when to draw this and then make it into this. Like this, you're talking about this and this, and then when the break comes in, when does it feel equal to break off? Is that what you're talking about? When you draw your head, the first line you draw. No, the top one. Are you talking about? Not the V. Oh, not the V. Are you talking about the literal break here? Here and here? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? Not the V. You're talking about the breakage, like from here and here? Like the breakage of like the point of let me use an example. Where's my map? Oops, super zoomed in. I don't have it. I'm not gonna waste my time doing that. Okay, so I'm going to make another one. The line that connects to the V. The line that connects to the V. The line that connects to the V. You mean these lines? This? You know, yes. Oh. Okay, wait, what about it? What's the problem? I don't understand, like, are you, like, to know, okay, so I make a circle, right? And then what'll happen is, I don't like how the direction that's going. I make a circle, right? Perfect circle. One of my best circles ever made. I just make a line here to the end of the circle. It has to be at least parallel with each other. And then you can break off from here, and break off from here. The templates, it's okay. The basically, yeah, I made a template today. I used it as a demonstration. I had it somewhere in here, but I'm getting lazy to do it. Okay. Sometimes the straight, yeah, if it's slanted, depending on this all ultimately, see, to win at this, you just need to learn the method I was teaching earlier, the Lewis method. 1, 2, 3, then you make a line here, and then you make a line here, because remember, depending on how long you want the chin to be, like that line, you're talking about the lines that connects is right here. If you don't know when, that's literally, I showed you, like, it's circle, make a cog, make the visor. You can put the crosshair if you want, but I make the visor first. Put the line here, okay? And then make sure this goes straight down, past the circle, and go straight here. And to reinforce that chin, go in the middle of the cog and then curve right down to the chin. Okay? And then you can put your crosshair, no matter what, make your crosshair. Go with the form of the crosshair. Okay? This is a male face, but if we're talking about female face, It's not no more different, so it's just a little bit more softer. So like I do like this, okay, and then curve like this. Now to defeat this, I'm gonna make a chin here, but to defeat this particular move, you have to give it a little bit of a chub cheek, little chub cheeks, because the girls have more softer faces. Sometimes they can get away having a very slender face as well, but let's just go with the anime face. So I will make this like a regular man face, but I would chub this a little bit, chub. Soften this, and there we go. And then you can put an indent if you want here. It depends on what you want. That's more of a aesthetic choice. So something you better not be getting sick. I better not. Yeah, because I've been feeling kind of weird. All right, so I turn this down. Let me just give you more so you can read this better. So, oh. Kind of like the song. You use any forms to practice, like the forms I use is a cylinder. I use a cube, and I use circles. I mean spheres. I recommend those to be practiced more than a triangle or a rectangle, because a rectangle is just a long square. Yeah, I guess I won't even say octagons. How many times you're drawing things like that in that type of set, unless you're doing like Gundam like work. If you're not making robots, but if you're drawing like characters, like organic characters, you're not making a bunch of them unless they were having a bunch of shit on them, like a bunch of like mechanical stuff. But no, I don't really practice with prisms and stuff because I find them too easy, because it's literally three straight you know, it's just three, and they're not that far from each other. You can make it fat as possible if you want. You can make them as fat as possible. They're pretty parallel from each other in most cases. It's all about the parallelness of keeping your angles intact, and then knowing what and no, I see what I'm saying. Like it's not that hard compared to a cylinder, because a cylinder is a circle and a square at once. Oh, he's not very, very healthy, man. He never leaves his house, sadly. Hey, don't kill people with that. I need to work. The templates is the side of the head where the eye level on the head, yeah, it conveys the part near the eyes. Yes, because the gear indicates where the hairline is. On top of the gear, I always tell you guys, the top of the gear is the hairline. The bottom of the gear is the nose line. And in the middle of the gear, which is from here to here, this is the brow line. So the brows will be here. The hairline will stop here. So like it literally stops here. But since this is a very over dramatic head, it's gonna look kind of weird. And that's fine. That's what we want anyway for right now. And then, oops. Okay, like this, and make the ear. And then you make the eyes. You know, it's not perfect, but right now the point of this is just giving you the sense of idea. This is why the crosshair is actually important, because if you don't have the crosshair, you will put the nose anywhere. But the crosshair gives you a sense of like where everything is kind of aimed at. So the nose will be here in this dot. The hairline's all up here in this section here. It stops where that line is, and the eyebrows are always on top, or a little bit over the brow line itself. It's never on the brow line. It's always over the brow line, because you need a forehead here, and then you make an eye here, and here. You know what I'm saying? That's how you figure that out. He's a hermit. No! I'm just very motivated to get work out of the way. Sometimes it's straight, sometimes it's slanted. So, like, to answer your question, crazy. Oh shit, gotta end this now. To end this, what I'm saying is that what you're having a problem is two things. If it's at an angle, you just learn the Loomis method. All your answers will be. If you practice the Loomis method, you won't have to worry about this. Trust me, I know what you're trying to get at. You're trying to understand where is the breakage of the lines here on the side of the head to the V shape to the chin and the mouth here. This all can be fixed if you practice the Loomis method. Practice this and then everything will make sense to you. Because I can always know where to put it, because after practice I don't have to question if that's the right. Now if you're asking about the indenting of the head, that's more of an aesthetic. That's not something that is I think in my head is more of an aesthetic. It's not something that is mandatory to have. That's just putting depth in the drawing itself, that I think in my head. Let me see. Better hurry up, I got 2 minutes. How to draw heads. I'm just gonna let you guys know, those are on Instagram. I'm about to get off because it's about to be 2 minutes till they kick you off. Because I can go only straight 4 hours. I don't know if they're gonna give me the 4 hours for you, but I'm gonna cut it off over there for Instagram, guys. So those of you on Instagram, please, thank you for being here. I really appreciate every last one of you. We learned how to do heads. I'm not talking to TikTok. I'm gonna finish off with crazy on TikTok in 2 seconds, and I will respond to you, Mike. But I'm just telling people on Instagram I'm jumping off. So have a great night, guys. We had a great time. We learned how to do heads and all that great stuff. We also talked about doing necks. I will talk about more on that later on throughout next week. And we'll talk about head, neck, shoulder, and torsos. I know that's something that you guys really jump on. So I appreciate every last one of you here and all that great stuff. So have a great night. Those of you on Instagram, keep focus, keep practicing, keep plus ultra and all that great stuff. I know it's got to cut off at any second now. So I'll see you guys in the next one on Instagram. Please just bear with me, and we'll be here on Thursday or so. So with that said, later Instagram. Love every last one of you guys, and I'll see you on Instagram on the next one. All right, later Instagram. Oh, and follow the YouTube. Trying to get to 1,000. We're almost close to there. Okay. All right. We'll stop it there for Instagram. Okay. Okay. I don't use her method. Well, if you use the method, it will solve you a lot of problems. It will solve your problem with the head thing you're having issues with. The issue that you're having is that you don't know if I'm guessing this. Please tell me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm still on the money on this. The issue that you're having is that you don't know when the break happens between the lines here and here to the head. That only happens when you get to the edge of the circle itself. Okay, that's where it literally constructs itself. Once it gets to the end of the circle, it breaks off. I dipped for a bit, but what's the horizontal line under the brow line? Okay, so the horizontal line under the brow line is the line that's it's the line that's, this is constructed, this line here. Let me make it more easy to see. Okay. Okay, this line that you're referring to, this line is here to let you know where the eyes is being constructed. You can actually pass this line a little bit, because what this is the eye is constructed in between, like, the half section of the ear. Half the ear is the eye. Okay, that's where I kind of figured that out. Half the ear is the actual eye. Okay. The eye and the ear is not the same height. It's always half the ear. The ear from the brow line to the nose is literally the height of the ear, if looking directly at the character. Now, if the character was looking up, the ears will be more down, the eyes will be more high up, the eyebrows will be high up, and the nose will be probably in the same, somewhere in here, I think. Turkey Day, to think. Yeah, so like these are constructed for you guys to have an understanding. This works on all situations. So let me take this. So like I always teach my students one thing: circle, make a gear. The gear lets you know where everything is. Crazy, did I answer your question, or are you still confused? Please let me know, because I don't want you to feel you feel abandoned or anything. You make the gear right here. Think of the gear as like Dr. Stein from Soul Eater, okay? So when you make the gear, like think of it like that. Think of it of the gear that's inside on the side of the head of Dr. Stein from Soul Eater. Okay, that's why I call it the gear. It could be called something else, but I refer to it as a gear. Think of when he twists it and it makes that like he's twisting like a spiral knob, or like a I don't know, something like that twist is, and then when you click it tight enough, if you press the button, it spins because it's all that tension. I get it now. You sure? Because don't say yes and you don't know, and then because it's okay if you don't get it. If you do get it, please let me know. I don't want to leave a student like left behind or felt like they didn't get it because they didn't want to seem like a burden or anything. You sure you got it? And the jaw breaks off at the bottom of the circle, right? Yes, most cases. Sometimes there are exceptions based on what you're trying to do with said character. So like for instance, if the character is very like over exaggerated, like okay, so for instance, if the circle if it's like this, right? This is a basic drawing, right? This line here I'm making is the hairline. Oops. It's supposed to go around, and on top this is the nose line, and this is the eye line. This is, I mean, the brow line. This is where the brows are. This is where the hair is. Okay. This is not the perfect hair, but I'm just saying this is where the hair is placed. So the eyebrows, so the eyes, the ears is here, is always in this section. If you're wondering where the ear is always placed, I'm going to do this again. Circle. Okay. If you're wondering where the ear is, once I made the cross, the ear is always in this section. In every situation, the ear is in this section. Okay. It's always in the third of this section. So if you're always wondering where it is, it's not here, it's not here, it's not here. It's literally the 1/3 it's always 1/3 of the actual thing. So you can always refer to it right there. It's always there. Okay? So always keep that in mind. Always. I think I should choose how I want to draw this, how straight or slanted it is. Okay, the more slanted something is, the more exaggerated it is. The more slanted, the more down or up it is. Templates to design the head. I tried out Kirta a while back, but I have a question about canvas pixel dimensions. Sorry, I don't fully remember what it's called and how it should be used. For me to answer your question, if you want crisp lines like I do, if anything, I draw in inches. I don't even bother in pixels. See, thing is, if your computer can handle the memory, if you point in pixels, the higher the resolution, the more clear the pixels are. But I noticed that when it's in inches, it's a lot more crisper because inches are made for printing. So like the lower the resolution for your pixels are, the more pixelated it looks. The more the more resolution it is, the more crisper it looks. So the higher the resolution, better the pixels. Better the pixels. The lower the resolution, the crappier the pixels are. Now, if you're doing it in inches, it doesn't really matter because it's in inches. Because, like, just me literally downloading a 5-inch drawing takes a lot of space. Not a lot of space, but it takes a lot of memory. Not a lot of memory, but more bigger than pixels, because pixels is like, I won't say it's in megabytes still, but like in inches it could be a lot more, but not in gigabytes or anything, but it's a lot higher. So there's more memory being used. If you're like PNGing and PSDing and stuff, but if you're just drawing in it, it's not gonna really do much. But if you have a bunch of layers, and you're doing a lot of stuff in your inches, it's gonna move slow. So be cognizant of that. Okay, let me see. Thank you. I'm working on a drawing, and I'm in your stream. Drawing it right now. Then I saw your stream. It helped. Thanks. No problem. Let me see. I think I should choose how to draw this one. Okay. Way I do it is because there's females that have softer. Yes, because remember, males have harder faces. So they come up more square-like, like more hard-shaped, like this, right? I'll even make it more harder, like this. All right. Females, on the other hand, it's a little different. Their cheeks, I'm gonna make it softer by softening up the jaw. I'm softening up, and then I'm gonna put a cheekbone here. Let me make that a little more better. That looks a little weird. Okay, I'm gonna like that, and then I'm going to and then I'm going to this, and then in most cases females are a lot more softer and chubbier in the face. Not chubby as in like fat, but just like a softer type, you know. So don't let that bug you too much. It's always soft. Females are always soft, but if they're like more masculine in a sense, like they work out, they're big, they're broad, like they're Zarya from Overwatch, then they're gonna have a little bit more harder features, or a lot more harder features, just like the men. So you have to keep that in mind. But if you're drawing like an anime girl from like Genshin Impact, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna have chubby faces. Not chubby, but like very soft faces most cases. Okay, so you gotta keep that in mind. The way I do this because they have softer features, and I use slanted. Okay, wait, sorry. Did you say once that eyebrows are? Wait, huh? Oh my lord! Wait, I think that means oh my lord. Wait, sorry. Wait? I want to read that. Did you say once that eyebrows are always above the? Yes. It's not on top of it. A lot of people get that mixed up. It's always over it, like that. So like, let me show you an example. This is the brow line. This is the hairline. Hairline, brow line, forehead, nose, and then the mouth. But like, let me go back for you. Where is it? I think it's here somewhere. That was confusing me because I see people drawing it slanted and some drawing straight. You're drawing cartoons. You're drawing cartoons? Or are you asking, am I drawing cartoon? No, we're drawing, anime if you consider that cartoon, yes. Well, I just saw it. I think I just saw it. Hold on. I think I just saw it. Look at this. Look closely at this. You see how the drawing is? See that? Oh, okay. You see how she drew or who drew this? I don't know who drew this, but see how the drawing is? This is the brow line. The brows are over this. See how they're drawing it? The brow is over this part. Okay. So always keep that in mind. Because like and this is the hairline. Because it was drawn like this and then one down and like that. No problem. Thanks for that. Okay, let me see. I see now. They're gonna be the same. I never know how to add the nose in 3/4 chord. It's always because of in 3/4 Q. You have, I gotta stop what I'm doing, but 3/4 views like this, and like this, right? And then I get this right. All right, and then like that. And this is the nose. Oops. I would have made it one piece of Luffy, but I'm just trying to wing it now. That's not the best representation of him, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, I get you. I was the same, but I was really just according to gender and how bulky I want them to look. Thanks for that. Okay, guess it was basic of basic to the basic. I don't have time as I used to, so I'm gonna be practicing heads for a while back. Yeah, just try the Luminous method, practice that for a while, and then always remember what I gave you guys. I'm gonna recap, then I have to go about everything. Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Art. I'm gonna give it a try next time. No problem. Yeah, you try inches. It'll probably do you better, but it might make your thing a little slow because there's a little bit more memory you're using, depending on if your computer. Anyway, so we recapped 1, how to make a circle. 2, you make a gear. The gear in the head will always represent and give you a sense of direction, based on the visor, the crosshair, the hairline, and always know that the hairline and the nose line is always under and at the tip of the gear's shape. The line breaks off at the edge of the circle to reinforce the chin. Make sure that you make a line inside the middle of the. Okay, let me pull that back a little bit. Okay, let me fix that. I'm gonna fix that. I don't want to do all that drawing. Okay, and then go with the form of the drawing first. You gotta always make sure to do that. Okay. So keep that in mind. So circle, gear. I guess you can use crosshair so you don't fall into this problem every time. And then visored, head shape. Break off to the circle. Remember, the break comes from within the circle itself. Depending on the gender, males are a lot more hard-edged, most cases. If you want them to look feminine, or at least a more teenage boy, I would try to make it less angular, a little bit more softer, but put a little bit of cheek onto it, but a little bit of a platform on the chin, so it looks a little bit more boyish. So you can get away with that. So like I said, circle, gear, crosshair, visor, face, cheek, jawline, and then jawline reinforcement, line of hairline and line of nose. To make sure you get this right, make sure you go with the curvature of the head. Like I said, make a circle thing, and then just give you a sense of, go with the form of the circle. Don't just put a line because it's gonna look flat and you're gonna like, wait, what's going on? You have to go with the curvature of the circle. So with the curvature of the circle, with the curvature of the circle, with the curvature of the circle. Always make sure that when you're going in the front, go on the curvature of the circle. Once you get into the side, it goes straight. Okay. Here's another story. I can always get the hair, I think, next week or so. So I hope that helps you guys. We recapped what we did today. Also with necks, remember the neck is always going to the rib cage. Okay. It always goes to the rib cage, okay? Make sure of that. The neck, and it's like a V shape, right? V-shaped neck. Okay. And remember that with males' necks, they're thicker and wider, and always know when you're making a neck, whether it's female or male, the top of the neck that connects to the body is wider opened, okay, and the closing of the neck to the connecting to the shoulder and everything else to the rest of the body is smaller. Remember to put some to give it more angular movement. Make sure you have like some muscle showing, but like depending on what you're trying to do, don't just put the neck there if you don't know what you're doing. Just like have an understanding. But and also if you're just trying to keep it into an anime aesthetic, just make sure when you're making the neck is curved like this, kind of. You should practice a little bit, but like this. It's never straight on. The neck is not straight on like this. That's not how the neck is. The neck is like this. If anything. Just try to practice a little bit and you'll know what I'm talking about. Alright, so I think we got a lot done today. I think I explained a lot today. I don't know if I missed a beat. Have I missed anything? Did you guys understand what I was trying to convey to you today about necks and heads and perspective? Oh, and perspective too. Remember, learn the squares, but do not practice a square. Practice the idea of the perspective. That's what I'm saying. Learn the square, like use the square to do your perspectives, but the only thing that you need to be aware of when making your square is, one, be parallel as possible. When I say parallel, make sure to be as accurate as possible when you're making your lines so they feel like a square. Okay? They have to at least connect in a... Don't do it like this and then expect things to look right. It's not going to look right. Try to be as accurate as possible. Try to be as accurate with your squares. If you're accurate with your squares, it'll be easier to put them in perspective. Alright, so like for instance, if you want to know the top of the perspective, practice the tops. And the secret is to exaggerate by slanting the drawing. So remember, if you want to see the top of something, slant it. Slant this part. If you slant that part, you will know how close you are to the top. We're at the very top because we can hardly see this. Actually, we're at the top. To know that we're ultimately at the top, we just make this. But we will never know now. We just literally, but we only know a little bit because we slant this a little bit. That's why. Okay? So if we want to know, we're at the subtleness. The subtleness of a square comes through based on how slanted everything is. In control. Okay? You kind of sound like you're getting sick. Kind of. I think so. Thanks for the help. No problem, guys. If you guys enjoy what you're hearing, those of you who are new or old, if you're new, please follow the YouTube. If you don't know the YouTube, it is at Artextrus. So on Artextrus, ARTEXTRIC. Can't talk today. I live stream on Twitch, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and IG every Tuesday and Thursday. And then Saturday. From this one, from Tuesday to Thursday, is 6 p.m. to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Same thing as thing, but at 3 to 7 p.m. Same length of time, but different time frame. So 6 p.m. 3 p.m. to 3 p.m. to 7 on Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 10 on Thursdays. Okay, so those of you who are new, or a case may be. Okay. So follow my YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 on YouTube. If we get to 1,000, I can make YouTube videos and make it more condensed to the point that you guys can understand them. They're not going to be a bunch of fluff. They're going to be I'm going to try to be as entertaining as possible while teaching, so they don't feel like a big dribble, drilling in your brain type stuff, and all that great stuff. I'm going to try. And then once we get to that, I can be focusing on Patreon and locals, or whatever the case may be. All right. So with that said, have a great night, guys. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thursday will be fan art Thursday. That's where I do a fan art, and I probably do a lesson a little bit while doing a fan art of a character, whether it be from anime or some other medium, respectfully, and I put them in an anime aesthetic, or a case may be. I'll put a poll on Instagram for you guys to pick what you want to be next on the thing. I think I can do it on YouTube. I might try that on YouTube today. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out or so. So I'll see you guys on fan art Thursday, which is in 2 days. So have a great. Oh, you streaming on Turkey Day at 6 p.m. When is Turkey Day? Isn't that tomorrow? Isn't Turkey Day tomorrow? Or the 25th? What day is that? I'm literally having a brain fart. You guys tell me, what day is that? I forgot. I'm literally having a brain fart. I'm being too lazy. Thursday? No? Is that Thursday or that's Wednesday? 25th. 25th? Is that really right? I know the 24th? Hold up. I need to check this. Fuck this. I was gonna be lazy. Well, I'm gonna check anyway. Turkey Day. Turkey Day. November 25th. Oh, it is 25th. I thought it was 24th. The fuck? Yes. I might stream that day. Because I'm home. I might do that. I'll see. I might do that. I don't know. Depending on how much food I eat and how alive I am. I'll put an announcement. I'll if I don't go on, then I'm not. If I'm not on within the hour of 6 to 7, I'm not getting on. But if I do get on, I'll get on. 26th is probably Friday. 25th, okay. Thanksgiving always falls on a Thursday. Oh, okay. That threw me off because I didn't know like it was on the 25th because that's 25th. I always hear like that's something for like it's always Christmas, you know what I'm saying? But like I never knew that. I thought it was always fell on the 24th, but I guess it's just on the third Thursday. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so with that said, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Keep safe. Please follow on my social media and all that stuff. If you don't know how to get to it, go to my Instagram. Click on my Instagram to my Instagram link. It'll take you straight there. It says Linktree, or in case may be, I may have to pay for that because I really want that thing to look different. Click on it. It takes you there, and then it opens up, and it'll open up for you, and it'll say our Textures Gumroad, the Commission, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitch, Trovo, and all that stuff. Redbubble. You can check out my merch if you think they're worthy of your time, and you can buy them, get a shirt, or whatever case may be, and all that great stuff. So have a great night, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys. Be safe, and I'll see you probably on Turkey Day. Maybe. We'll see. I'll probably make an announcement or something. I don't know. I'll see. So with that said, bye-bye, guys. Laters. Bye, and I sent you something cool. Okay, I'll check it out. Laters. 77 follows. Oh, 2000. Okay. 25th thing, Nicholas, thanks